And first, call our town meeting to order again for the recording. And we'll start with the election of a moderator. So we'll take nominations from the floor. All right, thank you. Any other nominations? Hearing none, we'll close the nominations. All those in favor? Opposed? All right, so moved. Nominations are now closed, so I'll just read the eligibility to vote. Any person who is an elector of such town and any citizen of the United States of the age of 18 years or more, jointly or severally, who is liable to the town for taxes assessed against him or her on an assessment of not less than $1,000 on the last completed grand list of such town, reference Connecticut General Statute, Section 7-6. And now Kate will read the legal notice.
A special meeting of the electors and citizens qualified to vote in town meetings of the town of Berlin will be held at the Berlin Town Hall, Council Chambers, 240 Kensington Road, Berlin, Connecticut, on Tuesday, July 21st, 2026, at 6:45 p.m. for the following purpose: to approve a fiscal year 2027 non-budgeted appropriation of $140,000 pending Board of Finance approval from the Berlin Water Control Budget Fund for legal services involving Berlin Water Control, Kensington Fire District, and Worthington Fire District. And I just want to note that on the agenda, that to participate and vote during the town meeting when using Zoom, you will need to identify yourself by name and address and have a working camera that is on during the town meeting. So for the 3 people that are on Zoom, if you wish to participate, you need to turn your camera on, and I need to know your name.
All right, thank you, Kate. Is there a resolution to come before the town meeting?
Fiscal year 27 non-budgeted appropriation of $140,000 pending Board of Finance approval from the Berlin Water Control Fund for legal services involving Berlin Water Control, Kensington Fire District, and Worthington Fire District.
Thank you. Is there a second? Thank you. All right, so now, folks, it's time for discussion on the resolution. Anyone have anything to say on the resolution? Now would be your time. Yes. Come on. So come on up.
My name is Sheila Rittman. My address is 210 Moreland Road in Kensington.
Here you go. Speak close. Yeah, close.
My name is Sheila Rittman.
There you go. Thank you.
And the address is 210 Moreland Road in Kensington. So I guess the question I have is how this came about to begin with. Also, some of the issues that I'm understanding or what I've heard is that there's a concern that has been said that the fire district Kensington Fire District in particular is not paying their bills. And if that's an issue, I wanted to ask if the town manager did not just receive a check for, I think it's a little over 1.2, close to 1.3 million from fire district. And that check was laid out accordingly to what our contract is in force, as opposed to what the bill might have listed. So there was a difference in what was billed and what was given. But it is paid according to a contract. I also wanted to point out before this is approved that I think many of these conversations have been held and dealt with according to 1 or 2 people's agendas and not all factual. I personally had a phone conversation with Mrs. Beach and asked her to attend a meeting and to gather her own information. That has not happened. No one has come up. I've had a conversation in person with the town manager asking the same. No one has attended Kensington Fire District's meetings to ask any questions or be involved in some kind of solution to have a conversation. I just wanted to point all of that out before we spend $140,000 on something that just needs open conversation. That's all.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
I'd like to say something.
Sure.
regards to this, set the stage here as well.
Sure.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ray Dramer. I'm the manager of the Berlin Water Control. I live at 56 Wildermere Road, and I'm a Worthington Fire District resident. Very unhappy with that issue, but that's nothing I can change. I'm thanking all of you who came because we requested you to come, and appreciate the opportunity because this is not the best of days to come out here, and the opportunity for me to explain exactly what some of the issues are, and try to actually put into perspective exactly why this is being done. The town budget went out in May, I believe it was approved. Our board voted in June to go to seek legal services because we were not getting anywhere with either the districts, Worthington and Kensington. They weren't responsive. They weren't helpful. Regardless of what was just said, there was no communication whatsoever. And I'll explain a couple of reasons for that. This is not town's funds. I want to reiterate here that this is basically the board and water controls funding. This is what we get for collection from water and sewer rates. It has nothing to do with the town funds per se at all. Each district, basically, we believe they owe us over $1 million each. And the lady that just pointed out the fact that, yeah, the bill was 1.8 million. They paid us 1.3 million, so 400,000 shy. So the question comes up, who's going to pay for the additional I&I? It's been for the longest time the customers of Berlin Water Control. And the town has subsidized both districts over the years historically. I've read almost every report out there. I've read the minutes of all the reports, and I found that the town has spent a great deal of money trying to support these two districts. It's come to the point where neither of these districts are actually doing enough in their own infrastructure. They have millions of dollars that are basically that they need to spend to upgrade. So one of the reasons that we're doing this is because we want compensation back for what we're doing. Worthington Fire District had an agreement with us from 1973. I cannot find one invoice for payment for the use of our pump station. Yet I went to MDC and they paid me. They paid me $300,000 in cash. And they paid 70% of a pumping station of $3.2 million. And now I get $50,000 a year from them, which before was not happening. Now, in Worthington's case, they continue to use our pump station with no input whatsoever, either repair, financial, or any kind of input financially at all. We're at a point, Berlin Pump Station is the biggest pump station we have on the Berlin Turnpike. It's over in that section that you've seen built up in that area where the apartments are. A station basically is at this point in time, I put in an application to DEEP for a loan for that program, thinking it was going to cost between $5 and $9 million. Was turning around to be closer to $19 million. Now, this pumping station, 90% of the flow is from Kensington. 90% of Worthington's flow goes through. Only about 25% of our flow because we have other outlets into the Mattabesset. So they would have to pay the balance of those funds on the loan program. And I don't see them doing it in terms of the additional responsibilities they have that they've ignored over the years in terms of the sewer and water input improvements. So neither district. Now, we sent out an MOU 2 years ago. You got no response whatsoever, no indication. I suggested someplace where we could start up a percentage and then negotiate. We can't negotiate if nobody responds back to you. So, I mean, that was one of the issues. And finally, the town spent $140,000 for a report with a consultant, Haley Ward. Haley Ward basically worked for both Berlin Water Control, Worthington, and Kensington Fire District. So they were a pretty common consultant for each district. They came up with a report. They also co-authored the report with a company called Reftilis. Reftilis is a nationally known financial entity. The bottom line is that Worthington residents were paying the most, Kensington residents the most after that, and Berlin Water Control residents least. And that basically indicated that the best thing to do was to consolidate all three systems, and the consolidation would improve and actually lower the prices for everyone, not just a few. So that was the basis of that $140,000 study that was done, and that was released just in January, February of this year. We tried to, we go to the legislature to take away the General Assembly originally created both of these districts from 1921. In 1921, and I didn't bring my pipes with me. I usually bring my pipes with you so we can show you the corrosion within these districts. They haven't improved it. They haven't improved a lot of it. They've made commitments and haven't improved it, and they've left it. So the report from Tillis and Haley Ward shows that there's almost $18 million due infrastructure-wise for Kensington and another $9 million for Worthington. Now Worthington only has 1,100 customers. Kensington has always had about 3,200 customers, and we now have grown up to about 3,000. When I first started, it was 2,200 10 years ago. So we've increased, and we're increasing a lot. The additional part I want to raise is a very substantial one because it involves Mattabesset. The Mattabesset district treats our sewage. We don't have a treatment facility. Basically, what happens is that there's a substantial large I&I, and Kensington knows it. Worthington told us that they don't have one. They told our attorney they didn't have one. And then the next year afterwards, they want to go to bid with an I&I proposal that they had. So they didn't really tell the truth there. But the reality is the I&I, the inflow and infiltration that comes into our sewage, basically just discharges into the Mattabesset. Mattabesset has problems with that, and also Deep has a problem with that. They won't give them a permit to discharge because they can't treat it. And they look to us as Berlin residents as the problem. And Deep's already stated that if you can't fix this problem, we'll put a moratorium on your building. So no more buildings. And who's going to hurt? Who's it going to hurt the most? Berlin entirely, not the districts, because the two districts don't really grow. So that's another problem. And the other option to that was to put an additional increase in size of the Mattabesset district. Well, the Mattabesset just went through a $110 million renovation. They're not going to upgrade that right away. There's no way. So this is the problem. The bottom line on this is we think we've hit a brick wall. And this is one of the rationales for us as the board to take an action and feel that this is the only action we can take to bring the people to the table and to discuss what potentially can be done in the future for all of us, not just for each district, for all of us as a town. This is in the best interest of the town. My argument has been from day one, I do everything in the best interest of. I'll end with that.
All right, thank you. Okay, folks, other folks have anything to add to our discussion? Yes, sir.
Brad Parsons, 26 Parkview Road in Kensington.
Welcome.
Thank you, Mark. I was on the last Charter Revision Committee group with Mark, and that was a number of years ago, and we had addressed consolidation of the water departments, Worthington, Kensington, and the town, to kind of align cost structures and make it more affordable and yet provide the services needed to the town. And I was kind of told offline that those were untouchable entities. If you think about it, you've got those three entities at work, right? So you have Farmington, you have Worthington Fire District and its board and its hierarchy, and you have Kensington, and then you have the town of Berlin. Each entity costs money. So the simple thought was, if you take and merge all these entities, you've got the overhead cost structure of approximately 40%. Anybody that's I know that I'm talking to a lot of folks that have worked hard their adult lives and clearly understand that your pay, your benefits, your insurances, etc., that costs money. So all those administrative efforts are done by the three entities. So if you combine that structure, you can find cost reductions and still provide a quality of service to the town. I think the most important thing that we have to kind of focus on is that we need to address making certain that we know what we're inheriting and what we're getting involved in. And before we spend any money with any legal entity, I really strongly recommend we do a forensic accounting for each of the entities so we know exactly cost structure wise what we're facing, what liabilities we may have. I mean, it's been told to me offline that we still have lead structure within our water system. Lead, you would think we would have abated long ago, but I don't believe we have successfully. And it's about time that we do that and get professional management. I'll throw out another challenge to the audience to think about. We should be not only contacting a forensic accounting unit to come in and do a true assessment, but we should also know best in class water departments throughout the state of Connecticut. Of the 169 towns and cities, there's got to be somebody that does a better job of providing those services than we do. And we can learn from those entities. And what we should do is seek out the top operations and kind of take a look at their model. I don't know about you, but it strikes me kind of strange that we couldn't do the billing for our invoices for the town. And it was costly, et cetera. So it went to Connecticut Water. And now if you look at your bill for your water, it's coming out of Boston. So I think we can do a better job. I just think if we can get through the political taboos here and get focused on the issue at hand, it starts with a good forensic accounting. One, let's get a true assessment of what we're walking into, know our liabilities, and then you can talk to the attorneys and let them fight it out. But that's how you develop a plan of action and execute off of that. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Brad. Yes, sir. Yep.
A forensic evaluation is a good idea, but we spent 7 months on an FOIA with both districts to get just an inkling of information enough to make a report valuable. So that I don't see how that's going to happen without some serious action on a legal basis. I think it's a great idea, but the problem is that they're not forthcoming in a lot of the details we have. And I worked for the State Health Department 40 years. I was the chief engineer there, so I'm very familiar with all the public works and public water utilities in Connecticut. We have been wooed by several larger ones over the years, and basically we're interested in it. However, the two districts didn't show any interest at all, no response, and basically those conditions died right on the vine. So there are opportunities. Our tax department was not healthy enough to do that service in terms of providing a water billing process. Connecticut Water Company, I can't say enough good things about them in terms of billing and their actions. They set up our workloads. They're detailed. They're very customer friendly when they can. They have 10 people in their cost center, in their what do you call it, center for responses. So they have been pretty good. Now there are glitches with any utility that's being obviously doing billing, so that is a problem. But I just wanted to point out that the study that was done by Haley Ward really identifies the additional costs that are required by the two districts if they were to improve their systems. And this is the problem. They don't have any 1-year plan, 5-year plan, 10-year plan. I have a 10-year plan out. I already know what I'm going to do next year. I already know. I have a plan in terms of each action. And even if we consolidated, I'd still have a plan on those other conditions because there are opportunities, as we were discussed earlier, economics. You just pointed it out. The three utilities share issues that are common. The engineering economy of scale would help us get a lot more accomplished for all three utilities, not just the one. But I thank you for your comments.
Thank you. Anyone else before we? Yes, sir.
Jim Phelps. I live at 177 Windy Knoll Drive in Berlin, Connecticut. And I've been a resident of this town for 10 years. Yes, I'm on Water Control Commission. But I'm also going to say something to you, ladies and gentlemen, that deeply disturbs me. I've attended the meetings when we asked for information and nothing was given to us. Then they have people come in to speak at our meeting, and it became a little bit inflammatory. We sat back, took that. But the biggest thing that disturbs me the most is there are pipes in the streets, not in the Water Control Commission of Berlin, but in those two districts, that the water does not come out of the hydrants enough to put out a fire. Now, mind you, ladies and gentlemen, and that is true. I know that for a fact because a tanker has to show up when there's a fire on Christian Lane. And I work for the Aetna Life and Casualty, the largest insurance company in Connecticut and almost U.S. And all I can tell you, if an insurance person gets worried about liability or death, we all should be concerned, because how would I feel if someone died because of no water coming out of a hydrant that was funded by those two districts? This is a time for reconciliation to take the town in a better direction. There's cost economics proven in the Haley Water Summary that benefits everyone. This is not about a grandstanding moment to show up with a check. Because if somebody died, miss, your check wouldn't be big enough to pay the liability insurance. I ask everyone to vote with their conscience as to the future direction of this issue. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Okay, folks, still the discussion period here. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
I'm Paul Argazzi. I live at 339 Reservoir Road. I spent 12 years on the town council, and this issue came up quite regularly. There have been studies in the past. All the previous councils saw through the BS and moved on because they knew that the districts did a very good job running water and sewer till now. As I recall, there was a study that was done that the three districts and the two districts and the Water Control Commission funded together. It was cooperative. It determined that the Kensington Fire District, having the largest number of households and the largest sewer infrastructure, was in the best shape financially, followed by Worthington and then Water Control being a newer district. The feeling was that if you merge the districts, the residents of Kensington would be greatly harmed financially because they would have to essentially subsidize the sewering of the rest of the town, whereas Kensington was almost completely sewered. That was a report done around the year 2000. I understand that's a little dated, but at the time, that was what the council went with. And if anything, it said the town, if they wanted to experience cost savings, should get out of the water district entirely and merge into the Kensington Fire District. That was a study that was, as I said, funded by everybody and had authority. What you guys did not. The districts did not participate in that whatsoever. It was self-serving. It made it seem like the districts don't know what they're doing, even though they've been around for 100 years. And this is obviously part of Ray Jarima's agenda to just merge and take over the districts, which have worked very, very, very well for many, many years. So we have that problem, okay? What you're asking me to do, let me address one other thing that Ray said. At the time, the fund balance that Water Control Commission had amassed was actually almost as big as the fund balance that the town of Berlin had amassed. That means this tiny little district had overtaxed people for so many years that it it got this huge fund balance, which is basically a savings account. So the town council around 98, 99 said no more water control. Jack Ross was the head of it at the time. No more taxing. You can live off your savings for a while, and that's what they've been doing for a quarter of a century. So when you compare the fire districts with water control, the fire districts have a tax of with a very low mill rate, and water control has a tax with a 0 mill rate. And obviously they've been living off their savings for all this time, and eventually that will have to be brought back. And so that'll equalize it out. To say that it's cheaper to live in the Water Control Commission is really disingenuous, because that tax is going to come back someday. It's going to have to. And if the districts all merge into it, it'll come back in a big way, because the whole town will then be falling under water control, which will then have to add all these unionized employees, and that'll drive up the cost of the whole thing. Unlike the water districts, which have the best service of all the town, there's no better service than the Kensington Fire District. If you have a water main break or a pipe break, they are there for you in the middle of the night, and it's always been that way. What you're asking me to do, Mr. Mayor, is to come here as a taxpayer of the town of Berlin and vote on spending money essentially to sue me as a taxpayer and part of the Kensington Fire District and many others, and also many others who live in the Worthington Fire District, to sue ourselves so that we can fund your excessive study and your excessive legal fees to essentially get your money back. Now, the fire districts don't think they owe you any money. Okay, so we're going to battle this out in court. We're going to spend another $140,000, right? And what's going to be accomplished? You can't get rid of the fire districts. Okay, the members of the district would have to vote at a meeting, properly noticed for such a purpose, on the agenda to disband. And I don't think they're going to, because they're not going to want to become part of this large conglomerate that Ray Jarima dreams up in his mind, where he can privatize the whole thing to Connecticut Water Company, as he did for the Water Control Commission. They're just not going to want that. They're going to lose the local control. So please, this is a total waste of money. I didn't realize the study was $140,000. That's a lot of money. So now we're going up to $280,000. And for what? Like Sheila said, talk it out. That's what leadership does. You talk this out. You can get answers if you try, if you really try, and you get rid of your agenda. You stop filing bills at the legislature to consolidate the districts. You respect the districts and the history of the districts. And that's the way to solve this, not by just consolidating power. Thank you.
I definitely need to rebut some of that information. I hate to say this. First of all, I read the report. It was a Fussell O'Neill report written in 1996. The town council pulled it before there was a final. And one of the things they did in that report, and I sent you a letter specifically about that when you had a discussion with me in my office. Specifically, they did not address the sewage because it was so complicated. They didn't know how to address it. And that was part of the problem. So they only did the water. So yes, the water rate at that time, Kensington was the lower rate. But do you know the last 3 years, and it's this in your water supply plan. If anybody reads the water supply plan, it should be the commissioners of each of these agencies. They don't read them. I read the reports from them, the water supply plan. Kensington has been losing 100 million gallons every year for the last 3 years. That's 30%, 33% of your entire purchased water from New Britain. So answer that, if you're so good at that. And if you read your water supply plan, it's not been the first time. Historically, that's been a problem right away. They have not addressed their water. They have not addressed their sewer. I'll give you an example. They put the sewer line and increased it along New Britain Road, right? They spent $670,000. What EPA required them to do it was $1 million to go down Harding Street. No, they decided to wait 7 years. That's 400,000 turned into 890,000 that you're paid for. 890,000 instead of the 400,000 if you had done it all at one fell swoop. Not taking out a loan. Yeah, taken out a loan. You have a list on a priority list with the state health department. It's been sitting there for almost 10 years and you haven't done anything with it. Worthington, on the other hand, started to take out a loan and dropped it in the middle of its with $800,000 because it cost a little more and they decided not to do it. And then the problem did go away. The financing went away. So there's very little interest in the districts to do a plan. You don't have a 1-year plan, a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan. Produce it if you do have one. I mean, that's the whole argument in this whole thing. How do you go from 1 year to the next knowing not what to do? I think I've said enough.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
My name's Liam Mitchell, 1005 Kensington Road.
Yeah, closer to the mic, Leon, please.
I'm currently the Mattabasset representative.
But yeah, you got to put,
I'm the
There you
Mattabasset
go.
representative for Berlin. Liam Mitchell, 1005 Kensington Road. Also, I'm the chair for the water district of the town. In that Haley Ward report, which was like pulling hen's teeth to get information from the other two districts, the main thing that should be gotten out of there is the condition of the pipes. How much waste? We're looking at the main supply for coming from New Britain is nearly over 100 years old. It's the same type of plumbing that Waterbury experienced with their blowout. If you've seen the news, you know that this pipe is way beyond its life. Also, you look at most of Kensington and Worthington, they got 40% pipes that are well over 70 years old. These pipes are not being maintained. They're not relining. And this is a huge part of the management that we find. We'd love to have a forensic audit. You know, we answer, the town answers any questions anybody has. And they get the straight answer from Ray. He can show them paperwork. He can show them what our plan is, what we're doing the next 3 years. And it's just night and day. I have showed up to Worthington Ridge's meeting. It's frustrating because there's things that I wanted in their reports that they didn't put in. They said that I didn't notify them about bills, so on and so forth. I show up, I'm not in the minutes. Sometimes they take things out of the minutes following week. I'm here to tell you that and notifying that this year, we got a bill from the Mattabasset that was $400,000 more. Next year, we're getting the same bill. Well, in other words, to put it in terms, it was like 1.8 million. Last year went to 2.3 million. And this is the sewer bill. It is now, I've just been informed this week that it's going to be 2.8 million. We're getting another increase. And this is directly because the other two districts are not maintaining their pipes. And the amount of the I&I that's coming in, that's the infiltration of the pipes being so bad that during the summer of last year, we had negative flow on Baxter Avenue. In other words, there should have been 700,000 gallons a minute or per day. It was less than 6. So the pipes are so bad, they were acting like a leach field. This needs to be addressed. And I assure you, if you have any questions, Ray or myself would be happy to do anything to make it to where you understand what's going on here. But the isolation of the other 2 districts has been extremely frustrating. They look at you sideways when you show up to a meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Bob Argosy, 100 Spicewood Lane, Berlin. I was chairman of the Kensington Fire District for almost 30 years. I've also been on the Mattabesset District for many, many years. I no longer am on either one, so I think I could be very objective. Just wanted to point out to you, Mr. Mayor, recall a meeting about 2 years ago between you, the town manager, and the Mattabesset District. Remember that? Remember saying that I really do not want to sue the Kensington Fire District? You do remember that?
Yeah.
Well,
Not
I'm
the
telling you
ideal
this
situation.
because I think some of the things that have been said here or have been suggested are really not true. Particularly the last speaker saying the Mattabesset is going up because of infiltration. It's going up mainly because electricity is going up and other costs are going up. Filtration is a problem, but they work with it. Okay, it's not a killer. Fire district, when I took over a long time ago, we had problems. There was no pressure, not enough pressure. That was taken care of eventually. Now I don't think there are complaints about pressure in the town, not that I know of. And the district is old and it has some old pipes, many of which has been relined. To put the word safety in conjunction with the fire district is to me outrageous. It makes me mad because safety is a concern. And I know the people that run the fire district, I know the workers, I've been gone for a while. They would never compromise safety. And as to what's going to happen in the future, I was unaware of the role of Connecticut Water Company. To the extent they have a significant role, they are a public company. They are subject to their stockholders. They are subject to having a profit. And I don't think you're going to see your rates go down. Okay. If you think one is better than 3, that's fine, but you're not going to get, number one, lower rates. You're not going to get better service. And I thank you for listening to me.
Thank you. Yes.
Good evening. My name is June Daly. I live at 67 Homecrest. I am part of the Kensington District. I've lived in the area since 2021. And so as we thankfully through the town council and the various gentlemen here that have presented have provided lots of information through the meetings, I sure appreciate that. So for some of us who And I'm not included because I have been watching the town council meetings. I have been talking to individuals. I have been reaching out and trying to learn more about the problems of our town as a whole with the water concerns that have been shared. And so please continue after tonight to educate yourself and learn more about it. I wanted to mention something. I could be wrong, but the gentleman Agassi, gentleman that spoke, I think has a financial stake in the Kensington Water District. He did not mention that as a fact, as he stated. And so his perspective comes as some kind of, like I said, my concern as part of a Kensington person is that I have learned, as was just restated, that our water pipes are in poor condition and financially is an extreme expectation of cost, that as they do continue to deteriorate and do not get repaired on a timely 1, 5, 10-year pattern or plan that you make, that cost is going to fall onto the Kensington residents. And I am part of that. I'm a retiree. Our town's getting older. We can't afford to have these increased costs come about on us because one particular or two particular water entities are not maintaining as they should be. I did recently read that Berlin has finished, I think, their plan of updating so many of their infrastructures, and they are very proud of it and had published it. So I, for one, being of Kensington, would like to place the first vote of disbanding the 3 entities and hope that you learn the benefits of that so that when the infrastructures of Kensington or Worthington start to fail, that maybe as a group, including all of us together, that costs can be somewhat spread out and more affordable rather than hitting us as a small group. Water pressure, I've been on Facebook. I've personally experienced in Farmington or in Kensington that we have had issues with water pressure coming into the home. People were saying and comparing notes on Facebook about water pressure coming into the home. So there is a problem in the Kensington area. Whether they haven't heard about it or not, it's been boldly on Facebook. So please vote today to add this value to our town so we can make it better for all.
Again. Yeah, yes, sir.
Paul Argazzi, 339 Reservoir Road. Not to prolong this, but I have no financial interest in the Kensington Fire District. I am not on the committee, and I never have been. June, I am a taxpayer, however, and a lawsuit against the district is a lawsuit against all of us taxpayers who live in the Kensington Fire District, as well as the Worthington Fire District. Those districts will have to hire attorneys to defend these baseless lawsuits, and that will increase our taxes and also potentially increase our water rates. But I have no financial interest whatsoever. I'm speaking as a taxpayer of not only the town, but the fire district, as well as somebody who spent many, many years studying this issue. And I believe I speak for a lot of people when I say that I think the current setup works very, very well. I think it does need some improvement. I hope the districts do improve and take this as a message to discuss matters more with water control so they all work together. Everybody wants that, but this is not a situation where we need to spend $140,000 to sue each other. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, folks, we've heard from a lot of folks. couple more minutes if anyone has
There is-
anything.
okay,
Yes.
I don't know if you
Yes.
wanna- there are people online.
Oh, yes, online. We get the online.
One of the questions that has come up online, and I would prefer if someone who's asking that would raise their hand and unmute themselves and ask about voting. So we have it on the record.
Hi, my name is Nicole Pager. I was asking if we're watching from home, can we vote on this issue or not?
So Nicole, what we need is, we need names and we need you to be online, the camera on. So just as all these people have been checked off when they came into the meeting, anyone who is going to vote, their camera has to be on and I need to see your name, so that we can make sure that we get you checked off with the registrars.
Understood.
Okay. Nicole, is there a way for you to type in your name?
That's what I'm trying to do right now.
Okay, thank you.
Is there anyone else online?
Is there anyone else online who would like to address the town meeting?
Yes, I would. Joseph Pagliarulli.
Joseph, I have trouble hearing you. If you have a question or you want to say something, please state your name and address.
My name is Joseph Pagliarulli, and I'm a resident of Kensington Fire District, 56 Glenview Drive, Kensington.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, do you want to address the town meeting?
Well, a lot of things have been said, and I can tell you that the Kensington Fire District is run very well. I know they replaced their lines. They just did a huge sewer replacement, almost $2.5 million from the pump station near Burger King on New Britain Road all the way to Dairy Queen. And that line was very old, very bad shape, and the taxpayers in the Kensington Fire District are paying for that. Do they need to do more? Absolutely. So does everyone else. And I mean everyone else. I don't know of any water or sewer department that isn't under a CMOM order to improve their system. It's what we do. There's a lot of allegations, I believe, to be not true. The districts do all their own billing in-house. Water control, however, hires Connecticut Water, which they don't put out to bid, which they should, but they don't. There's also a section in the charter that says that the town shall not impede the ability of the districts, which the town blatantly disregards and does as they choose. I know that the town manager was invited to a Kensington Fire District meeting. We were open completely. He was then later approached several months later to further that conversation, and he never returned a phone call. This idea that it's going to be cheaper for everyone is absolutely not true. They pay Connecticut Water currently for most of their services. All they do is meter read and fix broken pipes when they happen. They replaced the line on the Berlin Turnpike. It was an RCP, which is reinforced concrete. The reason they replaced it is because they don't have the ability to repair it or the knowledge. To imply that it's the same as Waterbury would be ridiculous. There's so much more. All three districts contribute to the main pumping station. Yes, it'll be very expensive to replace that pumping station. However, it can be done, and all three would participate. There's been a lot of non-truths being told that the districts are avoiding responsibility. Not true. Now, the Haley Ward study, which was a very interesting read, I admit. However, Haley Ward, their largest customer is Connecticut Water. Connecticut Water is in bed with the town of Berlin Water Control. It's in their best interest to suggest that they all be merged together so it's ripe for the picking for Connecticut Water. Then anybody who would like to pay their bill can do so at Walmart or any one of their other agencies that accept their bills. When you call when there's a problem, whether there's a water main break, water coming out of the road, sewer backup, whatever, people are inclined to call Connecticut Water because that's what's all over their bill. They do not respond. Then they call the districts, and then we direct them and alert water control personnel of the problem so that they can respond. It goes on and on. If you want to have a water and sewer department that's local and handles situations quickly, call Adam Salina. He had a leaky meter about, I don't know, 5 months ago on a Sunday, and one of Kensington's guys was there within 20 minutes. You're not going to get that with Connecticut Water because they're not going to have somebody stationed in Berlin. They're going to have somebody stationed in maybe East Haddam that responds to emergency calls in Berlin. You're going to give up an awful lot. The districts are not run poorly. They're run professionally and with dedication. And I will be voting when it comes to vote.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
One thing that
Yeah, yes, sir.
Dr. earlier mentioned, we're not in bed with Connecticut Water Company. They were going out to bid. There were several bidders that bidded. They bid, and they do a wonderful job in our collection, and that's all they do. They don't do the repairs. Last year, you had a leak over in Kensington off of Norton Road. That was there for almost, how many months? 2.5 months, Lenny? 2.5 months before you found it. Over a year. So you said you're responsive. Well, I'm not really clear on how responsive you are in some of those leaks because you're never there. You're the superintendent for Worthington and you work for Bristol and you're the director for the Kensington Fire District. So I don't know how you could manage all of these at the same time. And you also had a loan and you basically dropped it. You didn't do anything with it. And then the response you had on, and I'm glad you did because you have CMOM. We didn't have CMOM. EPA came in and looked at our situation and just walked away and said we were doing a good job. They never came back, never put us under orders, any kind of orders at all. So they were happy with our situation. You cost the Kensington Fire District almost an extra $400,000 or $500,000 because that project was not done in one fell swoop. It was done in 2 phases, almost 7 years apart. So that's part of the problem, is basically a lot of those things you're not adept at doing because you can't. You spread yourself too thin.
All right, thank you.
Okay, I would like to rebut that.
Sure.
Ray, you had a break about a year ago on the Berlin Turnpike. It took you 3 weeks to fix it. When we had that break on Norton Road, it realistically was maybe a week and a half. We hired a leak detection company, came in, found the leak, and it was repaired. I'd love to see those other bids on your billing because I think it's just gifted to Connecticut Water. It's ridiculous to say I'm stretched too thin.
All right. Thank you, Joe. So all right, one last one, Rich, and then we're going to wrap this up and take a vote.
Thanks, Mark.
Yes.
Not to take too much time.
That's all right.
I want to refute a few things. I'm the attorney for the Kensington Fire District. So yeah, do I have a financial stake? Yes. Like Mr. Jarima has a huge, Richard Pentor. Mr. Jarima has also a huge financial stake in this as well, as he is the director of the Water Control Commission. I've heard how we ignore things. Kensington Fire District and Worthington probably has the oldest system of pipes. The Berlin Water Control Commission is basically a newcomer to this business, and they have the newest pipes. So yes, they probably don't have as much to repair as we do. The pipes along New Britain Road and Harding Street, that was a $3 million repair. It was probably actually concluded just this year. That was a cause of a lot of infiltration that's going to disappear. And I've heard that this consolidation of the districts is some kind of panacea for lowering your water and sewer rates. The Metropolitan District Commission is a consortium of about 6 towns, suburban towns, and the city of Hartford. I'm I'll bet you that their rates are much higher than what we pay here in Berlin, and they have 6 towns combined. Eversource was in the water and sewer business. They owned Aquarian Water. I think they found out that the water and sewer business wasn't as profitable as they thought it was going to be. So they sold off Aquarian Water, and Eversource is no longer in the water and sewer business. They sold off to South Central Water System in New Haven, which is another consortium of about, I don't know, 5 or 6 suburban towns. So I just wanted to point out some things that we are addressing the I&I, the infiltration. Consolidation is not always a panacea to lowering your rates. Once if we lose local control of this thing, then you're going to have a company like Eversource, putting out your rates for water and sewer. Connecticut Water is basically a division of San Jose Water in California, and they're a for-profit company, as Eversource was, and we all know what's happened to our electricity rates. Thank you for your time.
Eric. Okay, I think it's time probably to move forward here. We've heard a lot of information. Just from my perspective and the council, the goal, we've never even talked about consolidating. I don't know, water control may talk about it, but that's not been the topic of our discussion over the last number of years. The goal is to work together with the 3 districts, and that probably, as we've seen tonight, it looks a little difficult from what we've heard from all sides, unfortunately, which is not what we want. We've tried a lot of informal ways to get together. I don't know. It's just proved a difficult scenario. We don't want to pit all of us against each other. Different, certainly the townspeople are all one town here, folks. We are trying to work together and do the best we can for everyone, even with the 3 districts. We're not talking about consolidation. That's not what this is about. This is about cooperation and sharing information and putting together the best water system we can here in Berlin. We can be better. I'm not saying it's the worst, certainly not one of the worst systems, but we need a lot of improvement. We've heard that from all sides. And no one's saying we're spending $140,000 necessarily. We're kind of reserving that, and we're hoping we can maybe, if we need to force folks to come to the table and work it out, that would be the goal. Not to sue each other. That's really not the goal of this. I guess if it gets there, it gets there. We don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I don't think anybody in town really wants to see that. But we got to work together to fix the system. The system does have some issues. Certainly, we're running into a lot of issues with the Mattabasset, which is where our sewage flows, and we got to fix that, or they're going to be charging Berlin a heck of a lot more money to use that system, because they're going to hang it on us for the problems that we have in the town. So we're going to
illustrate that anyone who has their first name on camera, I can't accept that. We need to check you off as voting. The registers need to know who you are so that your vote can count. So if you could please type in your name so that way the registers can see it and know that you are a registered voter.
All right, so we want to get ready to vote. So what do we need, Kate?
The Lucy, the Kevin phone, the Gregs, I need you to put your name in.
Yeah, what's it?
Vote in person first. So
What do we want to do?
I'm looking to Corporation Council.
What's a
We can have the vote on the floor and then have people vote online.
Person attendees first and then online.
Okay, so the people in attendance will vote first as far as ayes or nays, and then the people on Zoom.
All right, so go ahead and it's time to take the vote. And remember, we're trying to help to work together here. We're trying to help everybody work together in the town, not separate us, not combine everything. Yes, we'll read the, Kate, you want to read the, qual? Yeah, so everybody hears it.
To approve a fiscal year 2027 non-budget appropriation of $140,000 pending Board of Finance approval from the Berlin Water Control Budget Fund for legal services involving Berlin Water Control, Kensington Fire District, and Worthington Fire District.
We're voting for that appropriation, that amount of money, just to hire an attorney to hopefully work it out, folks. One last shot at it. We've been trying to work together. Some has been successful, a lot of it has not been. So that's really the goal here, is to work together, not separate us further. It's a good question. You know, I mean, well, so, yeah, Brad, but so we really got to end the public hearing, but just to answer that, we do have an assessment. We've been working on this for many years, trying to work it out with the 3 districts. So we've been through this many times, and there does not seem to be a lot of cooperation. So we're trying to get there. And we'll try one last way, I guess, to do it with the help of some legal assistance. We'll go from there. Nothing's settled. Nothing's written in stone here. It's just allowing us some money to some funding to hire an attorney that's an expert in this field and hopefully can maybe work some things out. That's the goal. That's how I see it. I think that's how the council sees it, unless I'm wrong, council members.
Come on.
We already had a second. All right. So we'll go ahead and just, what do we have? So how are we gonna count the votes? We're ready to vote? All right. So
Mr. Mayor, I have one other question.
really, the public hearing's over. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Oh.
we've tried to give everybody.
I'm going to ask, how many meetings did you attend with Kensington or Worthington to ascertain this information yourself? Or are you hearing everything?
Yeah, we've got to, we got to take the vote.
That's what I thought.
So what, we have a resolution on the floor. So all those in favor? Aye. All right. Opposed?
Nay.
Online, if you are Mayor, we can do it by a hand vote online, please.
Sure.
So wait, find out what one is first. Go ahead, Mayor. All in favor? The mayor will say that.
Online, for online?
Yes, for
Yeah.
online.
All in favor for the online, folks? So do
Okay.
what
Opposed?
is it? 2 opposed? 3 yes? 3
No.
no. I don't see any.
Maybe do like the hand, can you do like the thing?
Oh yeah, can they hit the little hand, raise their hand button?
Do it again.
Can they do the
We'll
raise
try-
the hand button?
Yeah, the raise the hand button probably, because raising your hands, we're not sure if you're waving us away or we don't know what's going on, but
People just roll call.
I'll call the 9. Okay.
Say your name.
All right, all in favor, say your name.
Sandra Capola.
Linda Pierce?
Greg Starr.
Three. That's 3 in favor. All right, anybody opposed?
Nay.
Name.
Stanley Pager, nay.
Nay.
Name. Name for the second lady?
Lynn Tagliarulli.
Thank you.
Lisa Pager, nay. Lucy Pager, nay.
Nicole Pager, nay.
Joseph Cagliarelli, nay.
All right. We all done? We got the numbers? All right. What's that? It's what? It was the voice vote. What do you want to do? So what do you?
And more people on.
Yes. So what do we need to? On the floor, you mean? Yeah, on the,
You had more people, yeah. Did you pass no or because it was mostly yes.
There was only like one no that I heard.
There was no. Here, this does it's 6-3.
Yeah,
Six
right,
yes.
that I know.
Yeah,
But
3 yes, 6 no.
The
And it-
people in attendance here, they,
Yeah.
more people voted yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So physical count. Yeah. Do we
want to physically count?
Key,
We can go to ballots if you want.
Yeah, just count hands, I guess. Yeah, we just count hands. Do we already have?
We're not
line?
doing well with the hands on the
No,
Zoom.
but this is easy.
Yeah, we did it. We're done. So just to do it the quickest way possible, we'll go ahead and the folks that were. Sorry, the folks that were here. We'll just do it by a quick hand count. I think it was pretty obvious with the vote, but we'll go and do a hand count. What's that? People left already? Yes.
Come here, then photo ID.
Right.
Whoa.
Yep.
I see a bunch of, hi, barely make out faces. They stick a name on there, they vote too. Yes.
Hmm.
I don't think we should even allow this online vote. Yeah.
But that's not what's up for discussion.
Yeah.
Tonight.
Yeah. Let's. All right, quiet down, folks. Let's get this over with. We just voted. I think if everyone in the room agrees by the show of hands, I think the yes vote has it. If that's agreeable to everyone, we can go through and count everybody's vote. I don't think that's necessary from what I saw up here. Yeah. All right, we can do that if you want. We'll count the nay votes. Four people left? All right. All right. Yes. Yes. What? All right. 3. Well, yeah, even if we count some folks that have left, I think there's no question as to the motion does pass. Huh? Yeah, we have a number of people here. All right, folks, so we're all set. Yes, the meeting is adjourned. Yes, thank you. If it's in here, yeah.
I know, but.
I don't think so.
It's probably here, it's probably in the packet. You can look in the bag. Yeah, she's here or something.
Yeah. I don't think it's a problem, Leon.
Okay, it's right here.
Right here. I see it. We got it. We got it.
She went. I was like, you know, he asked me to do a conveyance tax. Oh, that easy. Thanks. Fun. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Go. Oh, man. Oh, what are the comments? See, that's. How many people showed up?
84.
Okay.
And that includes the, I'm sorry.
Oh, good. How are you? At least I'm not crying today. Yeah, we have about 1 month and we'll see if he passes my puppy. I know. Keep your fingers crossed.
I know we will.
Cause.
All right, folks, we'll go ahead and call our town council meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Kate. Yes.
Reason we needed council for registers.
Yes.
84 people that were in attendance.
Okay.
Me.
Okay.
People are questioning the number.
Okay.
It was 84. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Here. Council Capola.
Here.
Mayor Vinci.
Here.
Council Panessa.
Here.
Council Cruiser.
Here.
Here.
Mayor, you have.
Thank you. Okay, on to our audience of citizens. Oh, we got a list. Oh, boy, excellent. Can't wait. No,
We don't meet in August, but.
What?
it's fine. That's what we're here for. There you go. There we go. It's all good. Cornell, up first, my man. You're here. That's it.
Cornell Boudria, 115 Skinner Road. I'm here tonight as a representative from Grassroots Berlin, community organizing organization, to discuss two things. One, I'd like to plug a really amazing event that's coming up August 23rd that we're putting on. We're holding a benefit concert at the Truck Bar. Cover charge is $5. All proceeds are to benefit Connecticut Children's Medical Center.
Oh.
An event page will be going up in the next couple of days where people can actually contribute donations online. Those donations would actually serve as your ticket as well. So you'll get a receipt from those online donations. Just show it at the door. Again, all proceeds, day of, through donating through the event page, all to benefit Connecticut Children's Medical Center. So if you have time, you want to have, there's going to be 4 high quality bands there, nice rock and contemporary covers. Going to be an amazing night, all to benefit Children's Hospital. So August 23rd from 2 to 7 at the Truck Bar. Be there or be square. All right. And so that's just a little sample of what we're doing. We got going on. We're a community organization. I'm here tonight as well to speak about one of the things that are on the agenda. And that's the senior center policy. Last year, my organization was preempted from acting as a sponsor and hosting bingo at the senior center because of this policy. As it currently stands in its current form, in its current draft, it would preclude our ability, candidates' ability to show up at the senior center to speak, political committees from showing up to speak there within 90 days of an election. Now, there are many reasons why you can prohibit and restrict access to facilities. I don't see a need for the senior center to be blocked in this way. It's never had a policy, first of all. Secondly, 90 days to preclude access is a long time. This year alone is a really classic example. There's a primary. So if you factor in the primary season plus the general election season, you're looking at nearly half of the year that you are precluding sponsorships from coming in and speaking to or providing financial assistance to the senior center. It's an unnecessarily restrictive policy. And in many ways, that half-year blockout really prevents conversations at the senior center. It is not a good policy, and it's not a necessary policy. So I'm asking the town council to drop this policy discussion entirely and allow the senior center to operate as they have for the last 5 decades. Let the senior center decide for the seniors. And that's my 2 bits.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
David James.
David James, 1863 Chamberlain Highway. I'd like to thank the council for the opportunity to speak tonight. And you guys are hard at work.
Glad to have you.
So I also want to speak briefly regarding the senior center regulation proposal. I have a copy of it. I'm not going to delve into it because it's all marked up. So I'm just going to leave it with, I just have 2 questions. I'm going to make it simple and get off, as I've heard enough already tonight. My 2 questions are, there's a clause in this policy talking about equal time. If, like, for instance, if you want to break it down politically, they said if one party has a certain amount of time, the other party has to be allowed to have equal time. So I'm wondering how that equal time clause applies to the carte blanche access that the administration has to the senior center. That's one of my questions. The other question is, I'm wondering, so there's a lot of discussion in this policy about empowering seniors, helping self-esteem, independence, respect. I'm wondering how you reconcile those goals with restricting what programs that the seniors can avail themselves to at the facility. That's it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for your brevity. And content. Okay, Roger.
Good evening, Roger Moss, 80 Brandegee Lane, Berlin.
Hello.
Hello. So I would like to read a letter that I wrote back on October 10th, 2025, which is when this policy came first to light to our commission. And let me read it word for word, and some of it is outdated a little bit, but I will correct it in my speaking. My name is C. Roger Moss. I'm the Vice Chair of the Commission on Aging. However, I'm here. I'm writing to you today as a resident of Berlin and not speaking for the commission. It's come to my attention that the mayor is trying to place a policy at the senior center to regulate who and when sponsorship programs and activities may take place.
Mayor.
Wish to voice my concern with this proposed policy. The Commission on Aging has not met since the issue of event sponsorship has been brought to the front of the council. It has since this letter was written. I believe that they should have been made aware of the proposal much sooner and been allowed to weigh in on any such proposal, as we are charged with addressing the needs of seniors in town. I had to reach out to the town manager to say, I understand that this is being brought up again, so it wasn't brought to our attention. I had to find out myself. I reviewed the proposed policy, and while I feel it is unnecessary, since our very competent staff has had an unwritten policy since 1985 that has worked without issue, there could be some merit in spelling out what is allowed by outside vendors, groups, and/or individuals. I am not in support specifically of item 4, prohibited sponsorships, bullet points 1 through 4. I believe this could be detrimental to the senior center Living in a small town such as Berlin, many residents are involved with a variety of groups and organizations. Restricting them from presenting or sponsoring a free program to the residents and members of the senior center negatively impacts the mission of the senior center socially, educationally, and financially. The senior center staff has done an excellent job allowing a variety of non-political presentations, even when the sponsors are political organizations. Additionally, does the mayor realize that in a year when there's a primary, access to these groups would be reduced to less than half a year? Math, 3 months before the primary, the month of the primary, 3 months before the election, and the month of the election is equal to 8 months in total, where no sponsorship would be allowed by political groups. I'm not sure if the mayor's aware, but individuals pre-register for events and programs they're going to attend at the senior center based on the information provided. If the topic is not as expected, they may leave, and if so, they voice their concerns to the staff or commission for corrective action. As a side note, the trivia event that so concerned the mayor was already canceled due to lack of registration. Call to the director of the center to get more information might have been a more prudent response as opposed to making or write an entire policy. The senior center relies on groups and individuals to sponsor events such as programs such as Bingo and Shred It, both of which I've personally sponsored in the past. This is a common practice nationally as senior center budgets tend to be the target of town finance committees and politicians when budget cuts must be made due to lack of funding in the community. Eliminating all sponsorship opportunities would result in violating the mission of the center itself. I'm also concerned with comments the mayor has publicly made regarding people complaining about these events at the senior center to him. The mayor has not given specific instances of what the complaints were, nor has he provided any details to town staff, so corrective action may be taken. He has also publicly stated he wasn't sure if they were even credible. In the past 2 years, the Berlin Senior Center has received the national awards for programming and other recognition. Therefore, I feel that the vast majority are largely more than satisfied with the services provided. Closing, I have 2 points. One, why is this policy solely targeting the senior center and not all town departments? And two, I would ask that the proposed policy be removed from consideration and the current underwritten policy that has been in place since 1985 remain in place. Respectively, C. Roger Moss. Thank you.
Thank you. Greg Prentice? How you doing?
Fine, thanks. Good evening, Town Council. My name is Greg Prentice. I live on 1697 Chamberlain Highway. So thank you for hearing me out tonight. So thank you for the people that spoke ahead of me. I appreciate their comments, and I hope that you take them under consideration very seriously. I've drafted a brief statement just from my opinion here. I'm a frequent member of the Grassroots Berlin coffee meetings. I'm here to speak in opposition to the senior center sponsorship policy, which appears to be tailored to constrain groups like ours from engaging with the senior center community. GRB represents multiple points of view on a range of topics. Restricting political activities in public spaces prior to elections is an infringement on our First Amendment rights. We have many seniors in our group, and I'm here to advocate for their interests and positive civic engagement. So that's just my statement.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
That's great.
Danielle?
Hi, I'm
How are you?
Danielle Morrissey Corsetti, 75 Cottage Street, East Berlin. Very briefly, I suppose I don't even need to say this, but I support approving the funding for the lawyer for the water district. Okay, well, that's obvious, I guess. And I would like to encourage the town councilors to not approve the senior center sponsorship policy. Thank you.
Thank you. Ruth? Hello. How are you?
There. My name is Ruth Larrell, and I live at 141 Four Rod Road. I am a supporter of the Berlin Senior Center. I go there. And I would like to request that this town council reject the proposed senior center events sponsorship policy. I learned that other senior centers in the area don't have a policy, or they have a very brief policy, and we have a very elaborate policy that seems to be incredibly as a senior, somewhat patronizing that we can't make our own decisions about who we want to see and talk to, and prohibitive in many ways. We're rational human beings, although we're older, and are still very capable of making decisions for ourselves. And this would include people we associate with and the media we consume and people we want to hear from at the senior center, programs we want to participate in. Well, we don't need a policy about politicians in particular that dictates when they can come and talk to us. I think that we can all make up our own decisions, and I think that the sponsorship of a politician should be the same as the sponsorship of Grassroots Berlin. You know, if they want to come and they want to talk to us about things, they should be allowed to do that. If we want to sign up for it, we do, and we'll listen to them. If nobody signs up, maybe they won't come. Very simple, easy. You don't need a policy. And you also put politicians in the same category with some really weird stuff. It was like exclusionary, violent, discriminatory, and hateful ideology. Like, that's not the same category. It's in the same group there. But yeah, I would support not having hateful ideologies, but not politicians. Not the same. So I also would like to talk about sponsorship of politicians, because, you know, when you're allowed to come to your center, you like to come there often, especially maybe 3 months before a campaign. And, you know, other members of this, you know, town that have things they want to talk to the seniors about. That same opportunity isn't being given to maybe your opposing candidate because you're informing, right? And maybe they want to inform too, but they're considered to be campaigning. And I think that's somewhat discriminatory.
Interesting.
Yeah. So for these reasons, your center sponsorship policy should be rejected by this council, because it just fails common courtesy of, you know, all people that want access to seniors. This is a very large group of people, and I think it's a great advantage, especially to have politicians come and speak at our senior citizens during campaign season, so we can hear from them, because they really don't consume a lot of social media and other, there aren't other ways I've heard them say that they can get information. So it's a service, really, that we're providing to them rather than a problem that we have to.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ruth.
And Karen.
Karen Pagliaro, 221 Still Meadow Lane. I'm here to speak on two things. The first one is the fact that over 16 years, I have worked at and volunteered at a senior center, 10 years as their nurse, 3 years as a coordinator, and 3 years as a volunteer coordinator. In the time that I did this, never once have I ever had to go to the town manager to get approval for a program. Not once, ever. I have put more programs on there than I can even remember, and I've always done it together with the senior center director. It has not been a hassle to have things approved ahead of time, or even have the brochures they might hand out approved ahead of time. I think that by utilizing the policy as written, what you're doing is you're basically saying that Tina Dole is not doing a good job, even though she's been recognized for how well she's done it. Also, the other reason that I'm here is because during my career, I have reviewed policies time and again throughout Central Connecticut. And this policy is one of the worst written policies I've ever seen. Couple things. One, you know, that approval, you know, within 7 days, the approval of the spots, the brochures and things. So let's say that we have a I'm going to say Hartford Healthcare. They're going to come in and they're going to do something about wellness. I can tell you that the brochures can change so frequently. So they might get approved with this brochure, and then 2 days before the event, we have a new brochure. So it's So ridiculous. Then on page 2 here, I guess you can call it, under 5, permitted political activity guidelines. So these are things, by reading it, you would think, oh, these are permitted. And the very first bullet, no political campaigning or solicitation for any candidate. How is it permitted when it's not permitted? This is extremely poorly written. It needs to be reviewed.
Disagree.
And it should not be accepted this evening because not only does it negatively affect the senior center, negatively affect Tina, but it negatively affects each and every senior that goes there.
Thank you. Okay, that's the list. Anyone else wishes to speak on any issue? Yes?
Kathy O'Donnell Moss, 80 Brandegee Lane. I just want to speak as give new definition to part-time employee at the senior center. I started as a volunteer and I fill in now as a part-time paid employee because people kept leaving and coming back or whatever, or people got ill and I fill in. So I am there regularly, but I have been for years. First as a volunteer and now as a part-time employee. And this policy that is being presented has never been necessary. Tina Doyle has done an amazing job of always keeping the balance. And I want to delineate between sponsorship and political events. We have had many events that were, quite frankly, co-sponsored by the Berlin Democratic Town Committee and the Republican Town Committee because it's a large event and Tina asked for help and both town committees have worked together, or not even together, but they have helped sponsor the event. So the Berlin Dems might put centerpieces on the table for a townwide event and the Republicans might provide coffee. Like it's completely balanced. The issue with politicians coming in, Tina's always given them equal time. If somebody running for Congress wants to come into the seniors and present from the Republican Party, then somebody is also allowed to come in from the Democratic Party. It's a balance, and she will accept anybody to come in for the same amount of time when she can fit them in. So the policy has been unnecessary, and I personally believe it's still unnecessary and that it's targeting seniors, which I am one of, which I can make my own decisions. If I don't want to show up at the program, I don't show up at the program. And that is basically the feeling of most of the seniors that I have spoken with at the center. If I don't want to go, I don't go. If I don't like the sponsor, I don't go, whatever. But they have that choice. And policy is just unnecessary. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. June.
First, I'd like to say thank you to the town council. My name is June Daly and I live at 67 Homecrest. I'd like to thank the town council in their efforts in trying to put something forth that is neutral, will help protect our community, especially our seniors. I have been to many, many luncheons and a table of seniors where there have been problems. This is not local, but this is another example. And there were big problems under their scenario of their lives, but yet they weren't strong enough or able to come together and raise concern about their issues because they couldn't. They were seniors just with problems and not knowing how to handle it and rather would remain silent. So the benefit to this guideline would be to help start something to where we can look at it and reference so that if there are ever issues that come up, we can first refer to the guideline and say, this is what we laid forward, this is what we approved. Let's start here and see where we need to go. Times have changed. Things aren't always like they used to be. And so this is a good protection, a guideline, give us some direction on things that we can do or maybe not do. Let me take you back to our local factory. Then we had smells that were really bad, sounds that were really bad. Didn't have an ordinance on sound. There was nothing in place. And so we couldn't act on it. So this gives us that opportunity to have something in place in which we can first look at and act on if there's ever an issue. But again, it's more just as a guideline. You help become neutral so that everyone can be treated equally and protect our community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Let's just wait and see if there's, hang on one second. Anyone else? If not, Cornell, I'll let you wrap it up. Yes, Julie. And then we'll just check online.
Julie Erickson, 85 Hickory Hill Road. I am a member of the Senior Center and I do participate in their programming. I think the Senior Center staff does a tremendous job in providing a variety of activities. They solicit ideas from the seniors as well regarding different types of programs or events they'd like to have. I take objection to this particular sponsorship policy. I think it really treats seniors like infants. Since I physically go there and go to programs, I can assure you that seniors know what they want and know what they don't want. And I believe, as Kathy had mentioned, there's the opportunity for choice. I don't sign up for everything at the senior center. There's some things that I'm not interested in. So when it comes to, the different things that are offered, the seniors don't underestimate seniors in this town. I spent a little bit of time there today, as a matter of fact, because one of the candidates for the 1st Congressional District was there. And people said what they wanted to say. And there was a group of people that obviously wanted to be there and others didn't want to be there. It's people's choice if they want to be there. My other concern is that as an elected official, as an example, Mayor Mark and Representative Veach, you can go in and you can speak about various issues that are affecting the state, road work that's being done as an example to update the seniors on that. And during that course of that time, with this year being an election year for state representatives, you could have seniors begin to ask you questions about your campaign. That really isn't fair to any opposing candidate. So how do we balance that? And the same thing with you, Mayor Mark. Obviously you can go in and you can update the seniors regarding different things that are happening with the housing, the senior housing. And just as a part of the conversation, seniors may begin to ask you questions about your mayoral campaign. And I know that was last year. And again, that doesn't provide an opportunity for the opposing candidate. So I would ask the town council to reject this policy. And it is a policy, it's not a guideline, by the way. So with that being said, I think it works. I think giving equal time to people is what matters, and choice. And the senior center staff allowed choice. You don't have to go if you don't want to go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? And anyone online, Kate? For anything?
No one has their hand raised.
Okay. Yes, sir. One last, real quick, Cornell. Last, I'm going to make you sit through the whole meeting with us. You can't leave, all right?
Yeah, it's fine.
That's all right.
I just wanted to speak to what June said. What that sounds like more to me is less a need for entrenched policy that precludes all access and more of a policy that literally describes a complaint process, right? Like that's the complaint department request. That's not a policy that dictates topics that are approved or disapproved, people and candidates that are approved or disapproved. That's just the process of how to give feedback. And I actually agree with that. There should be a process to provide feedback. A good, solid feedback loop from the senior center to council and back. That's actually healthy. That's a form of communication, and that's outside of this policy that's being discussed tonight. That's just a communication protocol, not a need to really have a strict policy that prohibits or even prescribes what should be there.
All right, thank you. Yes.
Sue Bordenero, 81 Gianna Lane. So I've been sitting here and listening to all of the previous people that spoke about this topic, and a couple of things. I believe, I know Cornelia mentioned about primary. Is that included with the policy of not being able to go 3 months before the primary?
Yeah, I mean, just, yeah.
Election. Yeah, so I don't think that's, if that's correct, where it's gonna put us
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, I'll say
Registers
that.
have to
Let- let
count.
me Speak first, we'll
I
straight.
think
my
it
God.
came up in discussion a while back
We gotta-
about primaries, and
right.
that was discussed. So, that's
This pound.
something to think about and make a decision on, because then you're not looking at
You're not gonna-
6 months or whatever out of not going to the senior center.
Go
The other thing is that there is opportunity for candidates to go and speak to the senior citizens. Every year they have that forum where everyone is invited. So they do go and they do speak. That's for the municipal candidates and also for the legislature. Everyone has always been invited. And I think that, the policy is addressing two different things. One would be a candidate coming in and, campaigning basically and speaking to the senior citizens. Yes, they're there to offer answers to their questions, but let's be real, they're campaigning, okay? And then we have what several people had referred to as sponsorship. Now, in my mind, that is an organization such as Grassroots coming in and sponsoring something and being precluded. Well, I think we have to look at it that falling under a political group as sponsoring something. And I know, sometimes you say you're not a political group, but I follow you. I follow you on Facebook. I follow comments. I read all the comments. And you are doing great things in the community. And, kudos to you for the great things you're doing. But let's not kid ourselves. It's political as well. And I know you discuss political things, and you agree, Cornell, that you do. So there is a political element to the group. And I think that is what's being considered as well. And, there's plenty of time prior to 3 months, before an election for any candidate to go in and speak. So, maybe Mark will give more detail as why he was thinking of the 3-month timeline. But there is opportunity for anyone to go speak, not precluded from going. It's just, we're looking at a specific timeline. They're not.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's all right, Sue.
Okay.
Just, yeah.
let's just,
Yeah, no, they're not precluded prior to the 3 months. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Candidates run for
It's just-
a long time.
No debate out there, please. Shh.
Yeah,
No
they
one,
run
no one
just
say anything to
3
you.
months prior to an election. They run many months before, so there is opportunities. We're not saying that they can't go. So I am in favor of this policy, and I think it's a good thing to do. Thank you.
Thank you. But same issue we want to talk about? So before we do that, if there's any other issues anyone else wants to speak about, they're hearing none. We do need to move on tonight, and I think that, quite frankly, I'm not happy with some of the language in here either. So what I'd like to do is table it tonight. Then we need to look at it a little bit differently. I think we need one. we're gonna get one. But we gotta change it. I'm not sure all of it in there needs to be in there, and I think maybe some of the terminology. And we worked on it, but it's gone away for a little while. We really haven't got to revise a lot of it. So I'd like to table it. No, don't want to discuss it tonight, and we'll take a look at it and see what we could do to improve it. I think there's a reason for it, but we do need to be careful. We don't want to stifle any speech, of course not, but it also is a town facility too. So we do have that, but we will table it and wait.
Could I just ask a question?
Yes.
Just to the point of, we're not doing this in every town department or in every town facility, but
Yeah.
the library has a policy.
That's true. They do.
Can we look at the library
Sure.
policy? Because I don't
that's-
understand why there would need to be several
Yeah.
different kinds of
Yeah.
policies, right?
Other than we're not returning books like they are, but that's
Right.
okay. No,
Other
I'm
than
just
that.
kidding. I'm just kidding, Kate.
Other
I'm
than
just
that,
kidding. I'm just kidding.
I would be interested. I've never seen it.
Yes.
I would like to see it if someone
Yes.
could, thank
Yeah,
you,
there's I
distribute
think-
it.
Yeah. Actually, Ryan was going to distribute that tonight. So what I think the good thing to do is to, take a look at that, Kate, although it doesn't really, I mean, we'll look at it, but it's a different
I get it.
vibe because it's a library, but with a lot of other things which we won't need for the senior center, but it's worth looking at, no doubt. And I think that's what we need to do. But with that, what do you want? One more? Sure. One last time.
Please.
That's it, please. We do have a long agenda we got to get through, so.
Greg Prentice, 1697 Chamberlain Highway again. So,
Yes.
thank you for hearing me out. Well, we've heard, 2 points of view. One thing that frustrates me sometimes when I hear this discussion is the word, whether it's nonpartisan or bipartisan, because I really, I'm associated with Grassroots Berlin, but I have my own position. Okay. And on perspective on the world, on issues, on things that are happening. And the campaigns are not just about candidates. They're about issues. And sometimes it's a matter of advocating for those sorts of engagements. So how do we represent not just Democrats and Republicans, but independent voices? There are more independents in this country, and we are not being fully represented. And so if you make a policy that only gives one side and this side, you're still ignoring other things. So if you're going to draft a policy, I would encourage you to take a broader perspective and allowing engagement, okay, across the spectrum, okay? But I fully support people being, not violence and not, things can get very heated. And I don't want anyone that's hateful and promoting those sorts of extreme perspectives, but more engagement. There's a lot more nuance in our political discourse, and we need to support that and drive that, because that's where we will find solutions to bring people together to find compromise, which is what politics is about. I support political engagement. I've been I've been a Republican, I've been a Democrat, I'm an independent, I've been a libertarian. Okay. Right now I'm an independent. But I want more positive engagement and discourse. Okay. And I bring this up at GRB meetings as well. Okay. So anyway, thank you again for your time, the additional time.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So I think we're done with the audience of citizens, right?
Yes.
All right, we're done with that, and
Citizens.
we're going to move on to the meeting. Mayor's update. We'll get up to date. We'll update you in September. The meeting agenda. We got a consent agenda. Thank you, folks, for coming.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. So we've got 9 topics here. I know we've reviewed them before and before the meeting and during the meeting. So we'll go ahead and take a motion on the consent agenda.
I move we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Thank you. Second.
Second that.
Thanks, Donna. Any other comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. And town manager's report. Before actually, Roger, I just want to say, I'm sorry. And I think you guys need to be involved on the senior center, on the senior policy. So that's another reason why I wanted to wait and get a little bit better process. So just so you know. Yeah. Yep. No, it should be that way. Okay. On to the town manager's report.
I had a lengthy report this evening.
Yes, I know. Well, you can.
Put it off.
Well, you could give us your notes and so you don't have to read it. No. Do what you got to do. Don't. You
gotta do, Ryan.
Hey, we're here till midnight. It's okay.
No, there's
The clock.
Oh, we can do one.
Just to start off with some positive news.
Yes.
I don't know if anyone saw social media today, but we had a longtime resident named Cricket at our animal control facility that was there for 2 years and was just adopted out.
Good.
It was a uplifting story. So congratulations to Cricket and her new owner.
That's good.
Regarding animal control, our animal control officer, Jan Fuller, has retired, and our part-time animal control officer, Kate Matson, has accepted the position. So we do have a new full-time ACO there, and we will be hiring a new part-time. So stay tuned for that. I do want to thank our town clerk as well as our library director and the town council and everyone that attended the parade and the reading of the Declaration of Independence a couple weeks back. It was a fantastic event. They also finally had some fantastic weather to go with that event. And the painting of the red, white, and blue as you enter the town hall complex, as well as on Mysterio Drive, it really looks great. We've heard nothing but positive comments on that. So again, the America Berlin 250 committee has done a fantastic job, and I know there's a home decorating contest that's ongoing right now, but we are wrapping up the America 250 celebration here in Berlin. So thank you to Kate Wall and Carrie Tiska and all the volunteers that served on that committee. There was some talk on the H2O Farms on Worthington, or excuse me, on the Chamberlain Highway, and we remain working with the company to the owners to get full restoration. Our zoning enforcement officer just was out there. They did some cleanup. That wasn't enough. We notified them. They did some additional cleanup, but it still is not sufficient. I was there today. I took pictures. I walked around, and it really, I mean, they've got some cleaning up to do, and so the town, just so you know, we'll be working with our corporation counsel and our zoning enforcement officer, and moving for compliance and taking appropriate action as needed. But we are on top of that, and we will continue to be on top of that. I want to give a shout out to our highway department because the summer paving is in full swing. So you'll see them out: Bacon Lane, Hamilton Drive, Ledge Drive, Mildrum Road, Webster Ridge, and the east portion of White Oak Drive. And that's the list so far. So more will come on that. Our sidewalk project continues to move along. We've done 1,000 feet on Fore Rudd Road, 1,500 feet on Norton Road, 750 feet on Percival, and 200 on Robbins Road. So that's moving along. This Friday is our groundbreaking at the Knights of Columbus building, or former Knights of Columbus building, with Vesta Corporation. It'll be at 11 a.m. on Friday. The public is welcome to attend, and looking forward to seeing the council members there. And I believe the commissioner of DOH will be there as well. It's a big celebration. It's 70 units, and they're moving along very quickly. I think I've mentioned before, but my office has been receiving a number of calls from residents wondering, is there a waiting list? I heard from Representative Veach's office this week, is it open to residents and non-residents? The answer is it will be. It will be open for both to apply. We're told that Vesta is putting together a website where folks that are interested can sign up to get updated info on this. So stay tuned for that. But we don't know that yet, but there will be a waiting list, but there is no official list right now.
What time is it? You said 10?
11.
11, right? Yeah.
11 a.m. The YMCA, we continue to move.
Look at me when you give that report.
Set a hunch, but we're very close to finalizing, or the Y, I should say, is close to finalizing the RFP for that architect engineer. There's been a lot of back and forth between the town and the Y because everybody wants to get this right and make sure that we have it fully vetted. I think there's a meeting this Thursday. So when the council reconvenes in September, I'm sure I'll have a much larger update for you on that, but it's moving ahead.
Ryan, have they given you any type of timeline or anything as to where they stand, or you're going to get more of a detailed update when you meet in September?
Well, the first part is to get that architect engineer, and they're gonna have to put that out to bid. I think it's for 30 days. So we're gonna have to look at that. That's gonna take a little bit of time. And then there's a selection committee, that's gonna have to meet with the top firms that bid. So, I mean, this stuff does take a little bit of time, but we want to make sure again that we get that right architect, engineer for the project.
Is the town participating in the selection committee?
That's a good question. I believe so. Yeah, I believe we will have representation there. Yeah,
That's a good idea.
Sorry.
Proceed,
Ryan, sorry.
Was that?
Proceed, sorry.
Okay, no, good question. The next one is some folks around town hall have been calling this trash gate this week, but we had some trash bins, it turns out, that we've been waiting for since last November. Put an order in to receive new trash carts, and it took some time. Apparently, the mold that the trash cans were made out of broke, and so we couldn't get any trash bins. And so there was a waiting list of residents that wanted trash bins. It was about 40 residents, but I'm pleased to report that we had 270 new trash cans that were delivered on Friday of this past week.
Yay.
And so residents are getting those replaced. And if there was a moratorium for those that wanted an additional trash can. So if you did want a second trash can, you can now call and put your name in and get that now. So
How do we replace the ones we have that are broken?
you could call Town Hall and you could talk to Lisa Payanessa in the engineering department, and she would be happy to.
Let me get this straight. We sent some people around the moon recently, but we can't get new trash bins. That's amazing.
Is there only one mold?
Because the mold broke.
Is there
One mold broke in this whole great country of ours. Even in China, it must have broke. I don't. Must
By that, I got a bridge for you.
That's what I hear. I didn't inspect the mold, but that's
Wild.
Oh,
Money.
I think we know the business to get into. We're gonna make some molds
Yeah.
for trash cans because nobody else can make them.
Should go out for bid.
Investing.
Should go out for bid, Mayor.
Yeah. We'll make sure we go for bid. We'll make sure we go for bid.
so a couple things.
Glad they're here, Ryan.
I'm passing out the semi-annual. I mentioned this earlier. This is a semi-annual update from all the departments. I tried to get it to be. I think we came in at 9 pages, so that's pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty good. I think
A lot going on.
when I first got it, it was 20. So but these are all great things. I
Great.
mean, I encourage you all to look through it and see what town staff have been up to these past 6 months, because it really is an extensive list, and we really do have a great staff here in Berlin.
We certainly do.
Next up, I'm going to pass out. This is, we talked about our town website the last time.
Yeah.
This is the revised version. This has been, I think universally approved by town staff after a number of iterations. So please like it.
Is it not yellow anymore? I'll like it if it's not yellow.
Yeah.
Get rid of that.
Not yellow.
Yeah, remember that?
Yellow.
This is your.
It looks really good. It's really nice.
Thanks. We changed the cover picture, to get some yellow accents, but mostly blues, whites, reds, like the council had requested. But we continue to move.
Where's the
forward.
yellow? What? No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, Kate. I'm kidding.
Looks really good.
So we're moving ahead on that, and so I'll continue to keep this
Good.
council updated on that. The other thing I do want to mention is it's been a year now, and looking at my my time, it's time for my annual review with the council.
No way.
Yes,
Again?
I know.
Really?
Again, we did it last October, and it's July. So by the time Jeff's going to coordinate again, and I have to do my self-review, but be on the lookout for that while we're on break, and so that'll probably be sometime in the fall. But just to give you a heads up on that. And then as a reminder, we also have our summer concert series, and we have Locomotion this Thursday. So that'll be exciting. That's the big one. Weather's looking great. So
Six it starts? Six?
yeah, and
6.
free ice cream.
Free ice cream.
I heard that before.
I did have a
Only one, Charlie. We're only allowed to have one.
There was a misunderstanding at the parade that
I'm
some
like,
people
give
were
them
upset.
all.
I have a note here to talk about town seals on vehicles
Oh.
with Jim. We can save that for later in the meeting, I think.
Jim doesn't need to go home tonight. He's all right. He
If
can wait.
if the council, I know it was a conversation at the last meeting, so we wanted to follow up on that, but. All right, that's it for my report.
Thank you, Brian.
Okay, thanks, Ryan.
Appreciate it. Council Communications? What do we got?
Okay. No,
About a half hour you guys need?
yeah,
All right, we good?
I'm good.
All right, new business.
Oh,
Uh,
I'm just.
well, new business, number one. Item number one. Oh, well, Ryan, come on, let's go. Let's move.
This is a continuation of the town meeting that occurred this evening at 6:45. This is to move the town manager to approve the non-budgeted appropriation for water control.
So you guys want to discuss it more?
No.
No, okay, I didn't think so.
Enough discussion.
We had a lot of discussion, good discussion, and we took our vote, and so go ahead and take a motion on this.
Move to authorize the town manager to approve a fiscal year 2027 non-budgeted appropriation of $140,000 pending the Board of Finance approval from the Berlin Water Control Budget Fund for legal services involving Berlin Water Control, Kensington Fire District, and Worthington Fire District.
Second.
I will gladly second that.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions from the
I
council?
just gotta
Yes.
recuse myself from this vote.
Okay, okay, thank you, Peter. Any other comments or questions?
I just want to say,
Yes.
I appreciate the people getting involved and everybody that came on both sides to speak. It's very important that people understand the issues. And it's not about to get any one person. It's about the health and safety of our community. The system isn't up to standard. It's dangerous, and we really need to address this. And I see this legal action as a way to shine a light on this so people understand what's going on and they can make informed decisions. So thank you, everybody.
All right. Any other comments, questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, and one.
Good night.
Thank you.
Ray.
Thank you, Ray.
Thank you, Ray.
Thanks. All right, so we're all set on that.
Right.
Off to the Board of
We're,
Finance.
Moving ahead with agenda item number 2, right? That's tabled.
Yeah, let's table that for now. We're going to do some revisions on that. I think that's the right thing to do. It might be a little, we'll look at it, and we'll certainly look at the library policy in conjunction with that. So, thanks.
Oh.
All right, great. So we'll move on to item 3. This is in regards to our union contract with the White Collar Union. Our HR Director, Paula Carabetta, is with us online this evening. Paula worked on negotiating this contract with the union. We believe that it is a fair contract for both parties. And so I'll turn it over to Paula to just go over the highlights real quick with you all.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Paula.
Hi.
I will keep this short and sweet. So I've added my notable items on the my agenda items, but the two pieces that I will just note are we upgraded the short-term disability weekly benefit max. It was $600. We increased it to $900. This was well overdue. It hasn't been increased since it was initially implemented many, many years ago. And then for the wages, we are doing 3% for 7/126, which will obviously retro back if approved, and then 3.25% for 7/127, and then 3.5% for 7/128. And that's it, unless anyone has any questions.
Questions, folks?
No.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
Okay, so we will go ahead and take a motion.
Okay.
You're going to abstain. Okay, yes.
I'll read
Yeah,
this.
Donna, yep, right.
Move to approve and authorize the town manager to enter into a contract with the CALU Local Number 2 White Collar from July 1st, 2026 through June 30th of 2029.
Thank you. Second on that.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Mark. Any other questions, folks? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, and one abstention. Thank you, Charlie. All right, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, Paul.
All right, we'll move on to agenda item number 4. This is an item that had come up in audience of citizens and also there was an expression of interest among the town council regarding additional cameras for security purposes at Berlin High School, particularly with our athletic fields and our recreational facilities. There, I want to thank our finance director, Kevin Delaney, for finding some monies for us at the end of the fiscal year, as well as Steve Wood, who is here with Parks and Grounds. And I know it was a team effort with, I think, Ashley and the Board of Ed and Doug as well. So thank you to everybody. But do you want to tell us about these cameras, Steve?
Yeah, so we ended up with a 14 parlay, trying to make sure we got everybody involved. We thought good.
Nice, good, excellent, excellent.
Um,
Now that's teamwork. There you go. There we go on that.
Took everything that was brought to attention by Greg Starr and the Park and Rec Commission to design where the cameras were going to be. The first phase would cover the field, the track, the Connex boxes, the basketball courts, the tennis courts, and the parking lot. There is a camera that is currently located on the building that we can zoom in and catch the end of Madison Drive. As we get ready to prepare to redo the high school track, we will try to see if we can get some type of communication down there that we would be able to have a camera at the end of Madison Drive or people coming through and probably focus on the backside of Brandegee and Centerelli as they were coming that way. But with the funding that's involved, cameras should suffice everything that was originally requested by the Park and Rec.
Great.
Sounds great.
That's good.
What's the timeline on this, Steve?
If the Board of Ed approves it tomorrow, I'm going to have Ashley reach out to Siemens, and hopefully by the conclusion of the summer, we can get everything.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Any other questions? We're good. I know we had a lot of discussion on this, so appreciate all the hard work.
Thank you.
We'll go ahead and take a motion on this.
Move to utilize the Omnia Partners Consortium contract number 2023003490 with Siemens Industry Incorporated of Cromwell, Connecticut, in the amount of $49,445, which includes a 10% project contingency for interior and exterior security camera upgrades at Berlin High School, contingent upon the approval of the Board of Finance.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Awesome. Thank you so much. I will
So moved.
face with Mr. Greg Starr tomorrow. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Steve.
His benefit on
He's up to.
I know.
All right. We'll move on. Agenda item number 5. This is the awarding of the contract. As you all know, we are re-roofing the Berlin Peck Memorial Library as well as a community center over there. And so this went out to bid. I think there were eight bidders, and A1 Home Improvements was the low bidder, Doug. So I'll turn it over to Doug. Details.
Evening, Mr. Mayor, Councilors, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Pretty straightforward, local firm ended up being the low bidder, so we're excited to get going with that. And
Good.
the calendar year, have everything redone.
It's good.
No current leaks, so we're happy with that, so. this
Well, that's good.
30 years later, it's getting a new roof.
It's 30 years. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah,
Wow.
it's time.
Huh.
Good. All right. I know we've talked about this before, so we're good. Glad we got, nice to get a local firm in here. 30 plus years. Yeah. I got a good price. Okay. So nothing else, folks?
Nope.
Take a motion.
Move to award bid number 2026-13 to A1 Home Improvement of Berlin, Connecticut, in the amount of $549,709, which includes a 10% project contingency as approved by the Architect and Public Building Commission for re-roofing and related work at Berlin Peck Library.
Second on that?
I'll second that.
Hearing no other comments or questions, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. And motion 2.
Move to increase the purchase order for JHA of Berlin, Connecticut in the amount of $6,760 for construction administration related to re-roofing and related work at Berlin Peck.
Second that.
Thank you. Hearing no other comments or questions, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. All right, thanks, Doug.
Thanks, Doug.
Don't go anywhere.
One more.
Don't go anywhere.
Not going anywhere.
Nah, I didn't
talk
think,
a little bit,
I
a
didn't
little
think so.
bit about energy with agenda item number 6. And so just as a little background, you may have seen in some of the budget transfers, energy costs continue to rise throughout the state. Berlin's no exception. And so Doug and I have been discussing ways that we can maybe try to get a little bit ahead of looking at some of our options when it comes to energy. And our current agreement or procurement agreement will expire in January of 2028. But we had Titan Energy reach out to us because we've used their affiliate with CCM, which we've used in the past to monitor the market and look for opportune times that we could time the market and get the best rate for our residents. So that's what we're attempting to do here. Doug?
Yeah, certainly it's a little volatile now, but this is more of an exploratory time and allows us just to look around and keep an eye on things and see where we end up in a year. So no obligation, nothing's binding, but it's
Okay.
utilize the CCM program. Their consultant currently, so keep an eye out on what's there, and we'll maybe come into the market time to come. So
Oh, that's good. Yeah, worth a shot, right? There's any way in this world in Connecticut to lower the energy costs, but does not seem to be, but hopefully maybe we could find something. True. Okay, folks, any other questions?
I'm good.
All right, we'll go ahead and take a motion.
Move to authorize the town manager to sign the CCM Energy Program Participation Agreement with Titan Energy of Hartford, Connecticut, to begin looking into new energy procurement contract with potential suppliers.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Hearing no other comments or questions from the council, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. All right.
give everyone a full summer, see you in September.
All right, yes, yeah, see ya.
Doug, you're welcome to stay.
You could stay.
Be on break.
Come on.
Get out while the getting's good.
All right. Agenda item number 7. This is an annual request from our police department. We have our deputy chief here with us
Hey,
this
Chief.
evening. This is the next gen system, and I think we use it for quite a bit. So
Good evening,
I'll turn it
How
over
are
to
you?
the deputy chief.
Commissioner Persin. How are you?
I know you're
Checking.
coming right out,
Checking.
because it's a
I
bid
apo-
waiver, correct?
I apologize for using that evil term bid waiver. However, that term was used really for lack of a better term. NextGen is our CAD RMS service provider. We've been using that company for years. Probably about 80% of the state of Connecticut uses that same company for interoperability. And this is basically just our service fee for the year, our maintenance fee for the year.
I'm on.
Okay.
Just one, of course, I'm going to have a question.
Yes.
Have we ever, in past years, have we ever went out to any other company, or since they've been providing the service to us, we just stayed with them, correct?
We've stayed with them. The last company we had stopped serving Connecticut, and the reason we went to NextGen was because they're so widely used in Connecticut, and it gives us a lot of interoperability with other towns and other police departments. The state also uses it. And the problem is if you switch to another provider, it would probably cost you somewhere in the area of $130,000 to $150,000 just to have a new company come in and build a new system. So it would be very expensive for the town to try and switch to another provider.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions, folks? All right, we'll go ahead and take a motion.
Move to approve waiving the town's bidding requirements for NextGen for CAD/RMS systems and equipment using funds as are available in the computer support account up to $27,000, as this is in the best interest of the town.
A second on that? Thank you. Hearing no other comments or questions, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? All right, so moved. Brief moment, folks. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Hate when that happens. Oh, that's okay.
Sorry. Oh, no. Oh, boy. No, it's all right. Yes, where are we?
Okay.
Number 8?
Number 8, so
Right.
this is an annual request. If you remember last year, the council approved the flock camera system for the police department, which I believe has been a successful program. So I'll let the deputy chief, this is the annual renewal for that, which is again, a bid waiver.
Yes, for lack of a better terms, this is our service contract for the year, a fee for that.
I remember this, Drew, so I'm not even gonna question it.
I got to ask, Drew,
Yes,
flock cameras.
Yes.
You have, I'm sure, have read and seen
Yeah.
many things lately across the country, not,
correct.
So I think some of us do have some concern.
So most of what you see online is absolutely completely false.
I get that, yeah.
The cameras do not do what people think they are, and I say camera loosely. It does not film people. It does not create film of people walking down the street or people's travels. It takes a picture. It's an LPR. It's a license plate reader. It reads that license plate and then stores that data. We store the data applicable with new state laws that came out this year that were a little more restrictive. We don't keep that data forever. It's basically stored for 1 month. And we can access that data for up to a month. The flock does not run your license, does not check and see if your car is registered. All it knows is that this is the plate number. And then it stores that. And we're able to use that, believe it or not, to solve a lot of crime in town. But one of the things that goes unsaid with that is it also maintains a database that's fed through from DMV of alerts of certain types of vehicles that are listed, number one, as stolen. The other things that it would give an alert for is if someone was wanted for a violent felony, or if someone is listed as a missing or endangered. We've had at least 2 people in town that we came up with an alert on flock. The officers were able to find the vehicle, stop them, and they were elderly people with dementia. One of the gentlemen had been driving for 2 days.
Oh.
And we were able to come across him, brought him back to the station. We called his family up. They were able to come pick him up, and he was reunited with his family, driving for 2 days without stopping.
Oh, boy.
So there's a lot of success stories in that. One of the other things that most people probably don't know is we have stolen vehicles traveling in and out of our town every day, all the time. The reason stolen vehicles are coming into our town is to commit crimes. So what we do get is if a license plate reader comes up with a plate that's listed as stolen, the officers then can go into the area where that flock hit was developed, and we can look for the vehicle, find it, and then, to be honest, we're basically displacing crime. We're displacing it from our community to another community. State law says we cannot chase stolen vehicles. We do make an attempt to stop them, and then they take off and go to another town. So we displace a lot of crime from our town to other places, and that's something that you're never going to see in the numbers. So we've had a lot of success. We've solved a lot of incidents with that. We had one strong arm robbery of an elderly woman from CVS that was knocked over, had her shoulder dislocated. This was right at the beginning of flock. And we were able to use the flock data to come up with a suspect who was in Florida at the time. And we were able to actually make an arrest for a violent felony in which a senior was assaulted. And I mean, there's a lot of success stories for that, but flock does not do what people think it does. It will not send you a ticket. It does not read your speed. It does not know who you are, what your name is. And the only reason an officer can search the database for a plate number
That was my question.
is they must have a law enforcement reason, which means that we must have a case number to accompany that. So if an incident happens in town and we need to look for that data, we can look for it. Officers can't just go in and search data on their own. On our website, we have a portal that you can go in and you can see the data that was searched. You're not going to see the data, but you can see the searches that we made. And that is simply so that everybody can see what we're doing. And there is a monthly report that we do for the police commission every month. We audit that data every month to ensure that it's being used properly.
So officers in his cruiser, how does he or she, well, how would they access flocks? They have a sign-in code, I'm assuming, or no? Or does it just?
Only certain people can look for flock data.
Okay.
So you'd have to get that from dispatch or
Okay.
supervisor could access that data. But they can get an alert on their phone. Like if a stolen vehicle comes into town
Yeah.
and it reads that plate
Right.
and it matches a stolen vehicle on the database, they can get an alert on their phone as to what camera alerted to that plate number.
Oh, okay.
That's generally what they get the most.
That's what they get.
Yes.
Okay.
Drew, just two quick questions for you.
Yes.
We have what, 12 cameras you said? Or when we
We
approve?
have a dozen. We have a dozen cameras. Yes, sir.
Have we, I mean, going forward, since, you know, this is really helping out the police department, have we thought about adding any more cameras to the flock and increasing it from 12?
We have not at this time. What we did is we did an analysis of our town, and we determined areas where people can drive in and out of our communities. And those are the areas that we put those cameras so that as people come and leave. Now, you can't cover every street, but we're basically covering most of the major roads. Could we use more? Yes, certainly there's areas that are not covered, but I think we do pretty well with what we have.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Very good, Travis.
Is Flock presented how they're not sharing with the retail customers? When this was first presented to us, they said, oh, Lowe's is signed on to this, and does Lowe's get this information?
No.
How do we
Lowe's
do
is
that?
the
What
ones
is it?
providing information, not accessing the information. Only a law enforcement agency can access information.
Even though Lowe's is paying for this service in their parking lot.
Yes, but they can't access that. Only law enforcement can. So, for instance, if Lowe's has it, they can grant the Berlin Police Department access to that data.
But they can't look at it.
They can't look at any of our data.
And you're sure that this private company, how do you know?
Flock does not own the data. The Berlin Police Department owns our data. So Lowe's owns their data. I don't know what they do with it. That's their data, but they can grant us access to that data. So if we search for a plate, if we're looking for a vehicle that just committed a crime and that plate happened to be in a Lowe's parking lot, then we could see that it was in that location at that time and that date. That's all we would get. But that's not a two-way street. So there's a lot of laws that pertain to just what you said, and
you're quite
we certainly-
satisfied that that's protected?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sandy?
Thank you. Just one question, and I don't know if it's because each town can potentially set it up with their own parameters, but one of the things that caught my attention was when Windsor decided to drop it. One of the things they had indicated that over a 9-week period, there was almost 600,000 inquiries to the system, which sounded kind of excessive. I know they're a lot bigger than we are, but do we have some kind of protections again to make sure that we're, looking at only necessary access to the data?
I don't know how it would be even possible to access the system that many times. That might have been the number of plates that were captured, which sounds more consistent with that. Our numbers are very low, and like I said, you can only search that system for the database with a law enforcement function, which would mean we have a case number assigned to that. We do report every month. I don't know exactly what the numbers are, but I don't think we search that system more than, I don't know, a dozen times or something. Maybe the chief can help me out on that. I don't exactly remember the actual numbers, but we don't come anywhere near that as far as a search of the system is concerned. So I'm not sure that I'm not sure that that's what that number meant that you're referring to.
Yeah, just the article just had indicated that the town's data regarding that was queried roughly 590,000 times over a 9-week span. So I'm wondering if maybe they left a door open somewhere or they don't have it as tight as we do. That's what, I was just concerned to make sure we kind of have it locked a little bit.
Yeah, our town is very limited who can access that data. All the officers. Yeah, don't
Okay.
have that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? We good? Okay, appreciate it, Drew.
All right.
Put you on the spot, but you know,
Good.
whatever.
Thank you. Did you have something, Chief?
Chief?
No, I'm just listening to the conversation.
Gotcha.
You're right on it. We don't access 600,000 times or 60,000 times. It's about a dozen times a month is what
I was
we're
like-
reporting.
600,000 is like not even mathematically possible.
Yeah, I'm not.
Like, there's more, that's more than more.
I think that was probably misquoted in the article, and they were probably referring to how many vehicles had passed through those sites. Yeah, that would make more sense.
Pointing that out.
Yeah, that does seem a little obsessive for the town of Windsor.
Thank
That hotbed of criminal activity. They may got some.
That's why it caught my-
everybody has some- Yeah, yeah. Caught your eye, Sandy? Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
know.
that's, yeah.
It would catch my eye too. for sure.
Oh, yeah, no, Sandy, I get it. Yeah, no, it'd catch our eye too. I mean, it's like, what? But yeah, that's good. Hopefully somewhere, whoever reported that was mistaken, but that's a good thing. But I'm glad you brought it up.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, thanks, Drew.
Thanks, Drew.
Oh, so we'll go, yeah, we have no other questions, obviously. We'll go ahead and take a motion.
Move to approve waiving the town's bidding requirements for flock systems and equipment using funds as available in the equipment maintenance up to $36,000, as this is in the best interest of the town.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Hearing no other comments or questions, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Guys,
Lucky number 9.
move on. Agenda item number 9. So we'll move from our police department to our fire department.
Okay.
And this is for the communication system. So I'll invite Jim, who's already up. So
He's already here.
hi there.
Hi,
Good evening.
Jim.
Great.
how we doing?
He's the happiest guy in the room.
How we doing? Yeah. How much longer is it?
You're smiling. You're smiling.
So this item in front of you is to continue utilizing Marcus Communications out of Manchester. They are the ones that built the system for the fire department and DPW and continue to maintain it through contract, through purchase of new equipment and the repair of some equipment. So what we're looking for is just make them our supplier for a amount of $30,000 for wide stuff.
Okay.
They have 2 state contracts.
Great. Thanks. Questions, folks?
No.
No.
We good?
Self-explanatory.
Everybody's
on this
happy?
one.
All right. With that, we'll take a motion, Charlie.
Move to award the contract to Marcus Communications for service equipment and labor to maintain the town's fire department and Department of Public Works communication system utilizing State of Connecticut DAS contract number 25 PSX 0125 for an amount not to exceed $30,000.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
Thanks, Donna. Hearing no other comments or questions, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. All right.
Jim has the next one.
Yes, he does.
This one's a more exciting item, I think, right, Jim? This
Pretty
is
exciting, Jim? Come on.
2 pieces.
Right. We had enough of excitement for tonight. Maybe we need to.
I'm going to give you the background to it and then we'll bring Tyler up, Assistant Chief of South Kensington.
Sure.
Who actually I gave the marching orders to and he ran a whole program.
Great.
Explain that. So the current tanker is a 1998. So it is getting close to 30 years old. We did put some work into it previously to extend its life. We understand that the tanker itself is a 3,000 gallon tanker, but because it only goes out to certain falls, it doesn't see the same hours or mileage on it as a pumper or a squad unit would see. We have a third of our town still has no water at all. So with that being, keep walking away from it. With that being, it came time to look at the tanker to be replaced in 98, which it would be replaced as it would come in 98.
Mm.
We're ordered it now.
Wow.
Or not 98, 2028.
28, yeah, 28.
98. With that being said, I'll have Tyler come up. He can explain the process. He can explain where we are and why we're doing what we're doing at this point.
Sure. Hey, Tyler. Good, how you doing?
Good evening. So a little over a year ago, like Jim said, we put together a committee to evaluate the tanker and the needs for the town. We started by building a 3,000 gallon tanker, which is the same size as our current tanker, with a slightly bigger cab to carry people to the scenes and be able to do what we need to do with the truck. As we started evaluating, having a 3,000 gallon tanker and that size of cab make the truck very large. We started realizing that it would be hard to get in and out of fire scenes, get the water to the fire scenes, and started realizing that may not be our best bet. The original budget for that was $1.5 million for that truck. So we started looking at some smaller trucks that would still carry the 3,000 gallon tanker. So we started looking at the cab and chassis trucks, similar to what we have now, newer, updated, newer mechanicals, and found that we would like to keep a smaller 3,000 gallon tanker. But also while evaluating, we found some holes in the current apparatus we had in town since 2009 when we lost another piece of apparatus due to aging and stuff like that. We found that some like in inclement weather, deep snow, floods and stuff like that, a lot of the trucks have issues going through that type of because of their weight and stuff like that. So we looked at, they call them urban interface trucks. They're 4x4 vehicles, so they're slightly higher. They have the obviously better capability off-road and in the snow and in inclement weather. And it would also give us access to bring people to other scenes. There's also areas in towns with coverts and residential driveways where the larger trucks are too heavy to even go over. And this one would help us also be able to get up these long driveways in that portion of town. So basically, after going through all the different scenarios and options that were out there, we kind of settled on these two trucks that you see in the description in front of you. And basically, we end up coming about $11,000 over the original budget. However, with Pierce's plan and Firematic, the way with the deposits, we would actually get some money back. So it would actually all be included and not have to go for any additional money.
Great. Yeah, it's funny you bring that up because all the flooding we've seen lately on the news and stuff. I saw there was one that caught my eye somewhere, wherever it was. The fire truck was through water up to. Was that New York? I mean, it made it. It didn't seem like it.
It was making.
How did it make it? Yeah. I'm just curious.
City, and it was making rescues in the underground or
Yeah,
roadways.
but it was really deep water,
Real deep.
and it got through. Can they get through that, or not for long?
It depends on a number of different things.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
not advisable to take a
Yeah.
larger truck like that.
Yeah.
Water because it has a lot of its electronic components
Equipment,
there.
yeah.
So
Underneath, yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
if it has open vents for the rear ends, for the transmission, and air intake for the engine. It
Okay.
depends on where those are located, and are you going to put that
Ugh.
moisture or water
Gotcha.
into the engine?
Okay.
Once you have water going into your engine, you're gonna hydrolock the engine, which
Right.
is going to be looking probably somewhere around $60,000 bill.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just curious.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
With this though, yeah. Back to this.
But I think that you really had to think about, yes, we're buying two trucks for the price that we were gonna buy one truck. We are not adding to our fleet. We are actually getting rid of another pumper that's a 2002. And that if we were to just replace that pumper alone, it would be another $1 million. So when we're doing this, we're doing it for $1.5 million. We're replacing two trucks, where if we were to buy like trucks as we have now, we'd be looking at about $2.5 million. So there is a larger
Savings.
component to that. And we're now reverting back to have capabilities that we did lose.
Yeah. Nice.
Great.
That's great. That's good. Are there some fire hydrants in town that don't work?
Oh my God.
Sorry, I gotta ask.
Waiting for somebody to bring that up.
Somebody's gonna.
Wasn't gonna be me. Wasn't gonna be me.
Come up before.
Yeah. I waited till now, but that's okay.
There are hydrants in town, and there are hydrants in town in all three districts.
Yeah, okay.
You gotta understand that they are mechanical pieces of device.
the infrastructure, the pipes and everything underneath there are old and aging. So when you have pipes like that in the ground, you're gonna have, calcium deposits or rust deposits or whatever, which are gonna clamp down and not provide you with flow. We have always known this, and this has been known going all the way back to Eddie Haber. And Eddie Haber, the old timers probably know.
Yeah.
It was known all the way back to there. We, as a fire service, have made our plans, our contingency plans to take care of that. We have failures with hydrants all the time in all 3 districts. And we are just normal with it. We respond to proper types of apparatus. We currently respond 2,250 gallons of water on the first 3 downtown apparatus. And then we back that up with 2,000 gallons coming out of the South Kensington. And that's backed up with another 3,000 gallons. We have built a robust water system in the fire service. It's not perfect, and I'll admit that, but it's better than most communities.
Yeah.
So with anything that's mechanical, you're gonna have a failure. There's no doubt about it.
Right.
And then when you have something that's aged as much as the water systems are, you're gonna have failure.
Is it,
For them to get up, I think the best way to put this.
Yeah.
For us to stand up here and grand slam and say that it is a major safety hazard and everything else, I don't believe it is. It is a problem, and it is a problem that we work with. It is a problem that is not going to be repaired tomorrow. It is a problem that somebody's gonna have to invest a lot of money, and that goes across the board, all 3 districts. So,
water pressure have something to do with it too?
it's not so much the pressure,
No.
it's the volume.
The volume,
So
okay.
if you, let's go back to Waterbury, they had that house
Sorry.
fire that they lost the house.
Yeah.
And they talked about pressure.
Right.
And they talked about that the hydrant was tested for pressure.
Right.
Well, pressure can be there, but you don't have the volume of water that goes behind.
Oh,
it.
okay,
And
gotcha.
the
Volume,
of
gotcha. Okay,
water.
makes sense.
If we look at the house on
Yes.
that was at the corner of Mill Street, fully involved when we got there.
Yeah.
First engine company knocked it right down. Did we have an issue with water? Yeah, we lost water for a minute. We never lost water to fight the fire. But as we were hooking the hoses up, yes, it came down. The water department is part of our plan. If we have a working fire, that they are immediately notified to come out. Mr. Rubiak, who is the person that does the maintenance or most of the maintenance for some of the districts, he was right out there with us. I mean, can't say we're in catastrophe.
Right.
No.
Right.
We have the same problems that every district has. Aging systems, failure of mechanical devices. It's whether you can pick the pieces up and move forward. And we have prepared a system that we can pick the pieces up and move forward. Perfect? No, but it works.
Appreciate that. Thanks. I had to ask.
Not the answer you wanted, huh?
No, I'd like the truth is what I'd like, but that's what I deal with most of my life. But you know, the truth is.
Waiting for somebody to call me up here.
I was thinking about it, Jim, and then I said, "Nah, I can't do that to Jim."
And I was going to start off with, you really don't want to hear what I got.
Yeah, right, exactly. No, I appreciate it. Appreciate it.
You think?
Any other questions, folks?
No.
All right, we'll go ahead and got a couple motions here.
Move to approve the purchase of one Pierce 3,000-gallon tanker for the Town of Berlin Fire Department, Company Number 4, South Kensington, utilizing Sourcewell contract number 082025 and an amount not to exceed $781,800.
Second on that?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Donna. Hearing no other questions, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. And number 2.
Move to approve the purchase of one Pierce urban interface pumper for the Town of Berlin Fire Department, Company Number 4, South Kensington, utilizing the Sourcewell contract number 082025 and an amount not to exceed $729,000.
Second on that?
Second that.
Thank you. Hearing no other comments or questions, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, so moved. All right,
Thank you.
thank you. Appreciate it. Jim's still here.
Jim's still
Can't
here.
go.
He's
He
putting
can't
on
go.
his other hat.
Yeah.
And we're gonna
Yeah.
talk,
Couple of
first,
other
we need to talk tires with agenda item number 11. With,
Yeah.
it being a new fiscal year, the need is there to purchase tires.
Yes, indeed.
From, we utilize a variety of sources. This in particular are 3 vendors. And this would be spending approximately up to $45,000 for the fiscal year. Turn it back over to Jim.
So it does say bid waiver on there. The reason why it says bid waiver on there, as you probably saw my excerpt of
Thanks, Ryan.
information that came out. A lot of the small vendors around here don't have contracts with the state or the federal government. But the manufacturer of tires, Goodyear, Bridgestone, Michelin, they have the contracts. So those would be the ones we would be utilizing the contracts for. But if we were going out and let's just say we had an administrative vehicle that doesn't need pursuit tires or emergency tires, we would be putting on something like a Pirelli tire, something like that. And those don't have contracts. So that's why, to be honest, up front, across the board, that's why instead of saying, yeah, there's a Sourcewell contract out there, there are some, but not for everything. So that's why that's in it. And what we're doing is we're buying tires for the fleet for 1 year. Hopefully not to exceed $45,000. Our budget does have additional funds in it, but our budget has additional funds in it this year because we are going to be replacing the rubber tracks on a few track machines. It's gonna be costly.
So Jim, on these 3 vendors that are here, how were these 3 vendors selected? Are there any other vendors that fit the criteria, or was there research done on these 3 vendors that are in the proposal?
So these 3 vendors are the ones that would have the majority of the sales, such as the Michelins and the Goodyear tires. The local ones, and I'll take Connecticut Tire, some local ones, they would be the ones that we're not going to go over that amount, but we're going to use them for the Coopers or the administrative tires.
Okay, thank you.
So those are those 3 vendors that are listed are dealers for the Michelin, the Bridgestone, and the Goodyears.
And you looked at other vendors beside these, right? When you were looking before you selected these, you looked at other vendors, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
They provide a list that, we'll just take Goodyear. There's a Goodyear factory store in Weathersfield, but there's also some other Goodyear stores. They don't have the product that we need, so we'll be using that one instead of.
Okay, understood. I just wanted the background on it, that's all. Thank you.
Any other questions, folks?
Nope.
Nope. Yeah, we'll go ahead and take a motion.
Move to waive the town's purchasing requirements and approve the purchase of tires from Connecticut Tire, Sullivan Tire, and DePietro Tire utilizing government pricing from the tire manufacturers in the amount not to exceed $45,000. This is in the best interest of the town.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Donna. Hearing no other comments or questions, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Great. Thank you.
You're just not going away. We can't get rid of you, can we?
Bad penny.
No, we're good, Jim. What do you got?
Jim's got the last one. This is the replacement for Parks and Grounds of a pickup truck with a flatbed. And so this was in the budget in the capital plan, and it is off state contract as well. So I expect smooth sailing for this one.
Smooth sailing.
So what we're doing is we're replacing the rusty old pickup truck, Public Grounds Department. I said rusty old, the rocker panels are gone on. There's a hole in the bed. It's time to go. I mean, there comes a time when it's not feasible to fix the rust on the vehicle.
Right.
It's time to
Yeah.
go. We're replacing that with we started off replacing it with a pickup truck. Although talking to the superintendent, Mr. Wood, he decided, or he suggested that we did something different on it as it would facilitate his operation, and that's to put a flatbed on it.
Yeah.
So that's why you see a little change from a pickup truck.
Mm.
It is still a single rear wheel F-350 pickup truck, except for it has a flatbed on it. And it's going to have snow and ice equipment, plow, sander, lights, the whole 9 yards.
Truck pulls at the fair. No, just kidding.
It's not truck pull.
It's on the front of it.
Maybe not. Maybe we shouldn't do that.
Idea.
Oh, maybe just once, just try and see what happens. I don't- All right, folks, any questions?
No.
All right, we'll go ahead and take a motion. Trevor.
Move to approve the purchase of one flatbed truck with equipment from Tasca Ford, utilizing the State of Connecticut Department of Administrative Services number 24 PSX 0110 for an amount not to exceed $77,629.70.
I will second that.
70 cents puts us over the edge.
Hmm.
All right, thank you. And hearing no other comments or questions, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, so moved.
And with that, that is my final purchase, the municipal garage or police department in front of town council.
It is. Wow.
Thanks for everything, Jim. Appreciate it.
And
Yeah.
You'll be back, from time to time
I'll be back
with the fire service, right?
Yeah.
coming every week or every
Yeah.
meeting, something at the garage.
Good.
That's it.
How many years?
The public, though.
I've been with the town for 45. I've been the supervisor at the garage for 39 years.
God bless you, man.
thank you for your.
Yeah, we
Thank you,
appreciate
Jim.
that. Appreciate the
Appreciate it.
service.
Thank
Very
you.
much.
Good luck.
Yeah, you're around. You're not
You'll
going.
be-
You can't go too far away.
We're gonna talk about,
It's up to the council.
Oh, what do we want? What do we want to talk about?
You want to talk about decals on town vehicles?
Oh, the decals. Well, we did have a council member that had a question.
I'll,
Try.
pass this out. I made
Good night.
copies of.
Good night.
Good night, folks.
So actually, it might be helpful just for you guys to see.
Sure.
this, if I just pass it. We have the
We don't want Jim to get away too easily.
parks, and ground, this is the grounds department.
45 years.
so we,
Thanks.
we identified, or we didn't identify, but we understand Charlie's concern with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We did have seals or town identification being put on vehicles.
Mhm.
There was some changes to those that we modified a few vehicles so that they were a little more colorful.
Thank you.
But primarily a 6-inch seal would go on a supervisor's vehicle. An 8 or a 10-inch seal would go on a regular truck. Now, with that being said, when you have a town seal such as our town seal and it's 10 inches or 8 inches around, you're not going to see that from a distance or understand what it says from a distance.
Right.
I have to give Mr. Wood credit with his people down there. He did look at and had one of his individuals come back with some different ideas. We're just bringing them up and saying, hey, what do you think? Would you like to go this way? Which was a concern that it looks a little too commercialized, or would you like to go different? And with all this, there is a time frame. I mean, it's not going to be done overnight, and there is also a budget that goes.
You can think about it.
Pretty cool.
That's kind of cool,
It
actually.
is kind of cool.
I like that.
I
Yeah.
think if the point is recognition, so people realize that they're town vehicles.
Yeah,
versus
and what you're doing.
workers or what have
Parks and
you.
grounds, it says
Yeah.
what it is.
I brought it up because I'm very proud of what these guys do. And you drive by, you don't know who's doing it. That's why
Yeah.
I want to have that identification.
Yeah, people might be, no, I won't even say it. Never mind.
I don't think it has
No,
to
we-
be the town seal, right?
No, it
I
could
think
be,
sounds
no,
cool.
it could be anything that looks, just, I agree with the identification of it and people know you're out there working, which you guys are, just kind of
Have
like,
you looked into any cost yet, Jim?
For the public grounds truck, it's gonna be $600 if we subcontract the whole thing. We'll take, it'll be somewhere around $350 to $370 if we do the work.
yeah. It's only fitting.
Yeah.
If we do most of the work in shop, so we would hire out the graphic part of that. We would remove the stickers, prep the door, and then install the stuff, all the labor work will be done in the shop.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Thanks. All right, yeah, and I will think about that. And then
Looks
hopefully,
good. I like them.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that looks good. So we'll have some more discussion, I'm sure, and probably go with something like this, I would think, right, folks? It doesn't-
Absolutely.
It's good.
It's like,
Looks good.
Like it.
Yeah.
I'd like your input from the employees too. What do they
I
want?
mean, do you guys like him?
Oh, come on up, Woody. Yeah, come
Oh, Woody.
What do you got?
Look at the little flowers
Just me, but
all
the
over.
guys that actually drive the truck.
Yeah, what do they want? What do the guys want? Whatever they want.
Taco or you want flowers?
So it was in North
Right.
Carolina when this whole entire conversation took place.
Yeah,
Reggie St. Jar took the bull by the horns. ChatGPT to talk to the guys, came up with the designs of which trucks will do what parts of the job. And they specifically created each one for each vehicle that we have.
Cool.
Oh,
Very
So
cool.
this is
that's pretty
completely
cool.
their idea with all of their input. They love it. They're
That's
excited. My opinion is we should go with what they like.
I
Okay.
agree.
Yeah,
Agreed.
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 Right.
Agreed. Absolutely. Thank you.
yeah, that's good.
You guys good?
We're good.
No, I think
I
we're
think
good.
we're good.
I think we're good.
We're good.
Nice job.
Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And to everybody. Thanks everybody for kicking in their thoughts. It's a team effort. That's always a good
Yeah.
thing. Thanks, Jim.
Thank you.
Okay. We're almost there.
When's the hey, Jim, when's the big party?
Why not? Yes, we are.
All right. Hey, we'll hunt you down in Vegas. We'll find you. We'll have a party there. That's the place to do it. Out of town. That's always a good place to do it.
From a party. He's
Incline Village.
oh.
Yeah, there we go. There you go.
Party.
Okay.
It's right outside.
Yes, I'm.
Yes. Yeah. All right. What do we got here now? Some
Appointments.
full appointments here.
Yep.
All right. We got the health district, right? Okay. So we just had one,
3 of them.
Well, but just for the health district.
not for,
Oh, yeah, but the total of
we
3.
got 3 total folks, right there.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so one's just for the health district, right?
Right.
So we'll go open the nominations for the Central Connecticut Health District.
I nominate Cynthia Mitchell for the Central Connecticut Health District.
Thank you, Charlie. Any other nominations? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and close the nominations. And all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, so moved. Welcome, Cynthia. All right, and what do we got? We got the Central Regional Tourist District. Is that new, Kate? Have we always had that? Seems new.
So with the Central Regional Tourism District, that has a vacancy in it because our former economic developer resigned.
I got you.
So
Okay,
that's now open.
gotcha.
It has been, so at one point I was on it. And
Oh,
then-
okay.
So it's not necessarily people who are in town. And then Chris Edge took it over. It
Okay.
made more sense.
Gotcha.
And now that we have a new economic
Yes,
development director,
yeah,
the thought is to have him involved. He is familiar with it.
yeah,
But
Yeah.
it's up to you, of course.
yeah.
But he's familiar with the district. He's been involved.
Yeah, before. Other places, yeah. I mean, I don't know, that makes sense to me. What do you all think?
I agree.
Yeah,
Does
absolutely.
that make sense?
Yeah.
Right, I mean, he's,
With it.
we gotta have him. Yeah, we're good? Okay,
Yeah.
everybody's good.
I nominate Mr. Timothy Zigmont.
No,
No, other one.
other one,
Which one?
Kevin.
Kevin.
The new,
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah.
that's all right. I mean, Tim's great. I
You
love
won't
Tim,
tell
but
him you didn't know his name.
that's okay.
I'm gonna nominate Mr. Kevin Yulmeyer.
Thank you. Any other nominations? Hearing none, we'll close the nominations. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right. Welcome, Kevin.
Big nut.
Okay, where are we at?
Okay.
No special committee
Approve.
reports. Hey, just one quick thing. Did you mention in your report about storm damage and
Catch Mike after we.
oh, you didn't catch him? Okay.
Yeah, that was what, so I went to go.
Okay.
But I can say, just as far as storm damage, we did have a number of residents who had some damage with the 4th of July storm. And we, especially in engineering, have been fielding a number of phone calls. And our town staff, the highway department has been assisting But it hasn't been a full wide restoration because not every area of town was hit as hard. It was
Chamberlain Highway, Kensington, High Road.
Yeah.
Civil Ave.
Yeah.
Too, but yeah, we remain, committed
Yeah.
to helping residents and any calls, we're looking at.
I
Try to
did
help.
reach out to the state and I know that they did a lot of cleaning up on Chamberlain Highway and parts of High Road, but it was kind of just to get it off the road.
Yeah, and I mean, I mean, listen, I had a bunch of trees down in my yard, which was a lot to remove, but, you know, if it's, yeah, really?
Yeah, Cliffington Road.
Oh, my God. I mean, any,
Fell on his truck, he had to leave it.
oh, jeez. Yeah, that whole area got hit. It got hit hard. Yeah. But typically the town hasn't, other than by the roadways, like I know in that big blizzard we had in October way back, the town did do a lot of work on streets, but that was a large scale collapse of so many trees everywhere. This is, a little bit.
Pine tree in town.
Right, pine trees, Bradford pears all collapsed. But so, like you said, if someone needs assistance, of course, we're gonna go help them, but only because there was some comment about a bunch of stuff in people's yards of branches. Well, I mean, that's, generally speaking, if it's not impeding anything, that they would have to do their cleanup in their yard, unless there's some, extenuating circumstances, we'll of course help out. But, so appreciate you checking on that. But, okay. And the town, they did a great job cleaning it up too, once Eversource got here, so, and before. All right, so thank you for that. Anything else? No, so I don't think there's been any special committees, so we'll go ahead and take a motion for the acceptance.
Move we accept the minutes of the July 7th meeting.
Thank you, second. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 One abstention. Thank you, Mark. All right, so moved. And a motion to adjourn.
Already?
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. No, anybody opposed? No, all right. Thank you all. Oh,
Have a good night.
have a good night, Sandy. Thanks. One finger is not a wave. Here's this, Ryan.